What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. I apologize for the delay. I am your host, Ed Honcho. I thank you for being here this evening. It's a crazy time in the world right now. In America, at least, I know. I think other countries are having their own issues. Obviously, it's funny when things get a little too close for comfort. So we'll be talking about some of that tonight. But for those of you who are not new to the den, who are new to the den, I'm sorry. This is the best conversation on the internet. And you're going to say, why? What makes these folks so special? Well, because one, they're the den folks. That's just automatic special status. But two, but no, seriously, the reason why the conversation is so good, man, is because of all of you guys who come, Monday through Friday. I was gonna say every night, Monday through Friday, and join the conversation, join the community, and just even those you chat like, man, that's the most amazing thing to me in the Discord. Shout out to Culture, man. Those of you who keep the conversation going in the Discord, who'll be up till 2, 3, 5 in the morning and shit. Look, I fucks with y'all, man. I fucks with y'all. I really do, man. I think y'all are amazing people. I'm not staying up to 5 in the morning with y'all on the Discord. Best of luck to that. Anyway, let's see what we got joining us tonight, man. Let's get into some good conversation. If you want to keep up with the den, make sure you're following the proper social medias. Ed Honcho, EdHonchohtx, on Instagram and Twitter, same handle. Excuse me. Den Show Live on Facebook. If you are a Facebook user, old dinosaur like myself, you still use Facebook, become a part of the Den Show Facebook group. Join the Den Show Discord. I'll put the link up before the stream is over with. And that whole wonderful thing there. We halfway. We'll get into that later in the stream. Any more Den plugging I need to do. If you want some Den merch, Den folks shirt, things of that nature, go to Den Show Shop. All other Den links in the description below. Make sure you check those out. Let's see. 335, what's the motherfucking deal? Digging Hunter 715. I have no idea who that is. Shout out to all the extra early birds. Culture John, K Grace, Jason. I don't know what I wrote right there. Footballer 503, just Sarah. Dre. Okay, there we go. Dre, yeah. My handwriting is bad. I'm like, God damn, is my shit that bad? Shout out to Dre, man. Let me see what else we got in here. Mr. Coltrane. Let's see. El Lobo, what's the motherfucking deal? Miss Bell. Hope all is well, Miss Bell. Let me make sure I got y'all down as early birds. Also, the earliest of the birds. Well, I gotta wait a little bit, but it's all good. It's all love. Miss K Grace. Let's see.
WTMFD.
Let's see.
Extra long den and Honcho stay up till 5 a.m.
Mr. Rios, thank you, sir. Extra long den, stay up till 5 a.m. We can push it to the limit. We'll have a good time. We're gonna have a good conversation tonight. How about that? Well, we'll definitely have a extended den. How about that? Will that work? We'll have I will promise an extended den tonight. We'll still try to adhere to the 10-minute rule, but shout out to Mr. Real Talk. Definitely extended den tonight. Thank you so much, sir. What's the motherfucking deal? I forgot whose name I was on. D-Love, did I shout out
Hey
D-Love?
dude, why you flexing on my $1 donations like that?
Appreciate the love, Mr. Culture. Thank you, sir. Kenneth Cologne, what's the motherfucking deal? Chill HD, what's the motherfucking deal? Chill, I ain't seen you in a minute. Hope all is well. Frost, Mr. Frost, hope all is well. What's the motherfucking deal? DeMarkey, hello DeMarkey. He won't pass. Real Talk, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Mary, what's the motherfucking deal? How you doing, Miss Mary? Man things, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Check the trending page. Man, look, we got a lot. Man, we got so much shit to talk about tonight. It's gonna be like a serious but kind of it's gonna be like a serious but kind of like crazy night because there's some crazy things that must be talked about, right? And then there's some serious things that have to be discussed. So y'all know how we do in the den. Don't take anything too personal. Like we're gonna have a good time, right? But we have to have these conversations. Heidi, hello Heidi. How are you this evening, Miss Heidi? Let me see. Fucking hate. I fucking hate Heidi. Dakota, what's the motherfucking deal? Bilderberg boy, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Damn, the bright red is very nice. Shout out to Real Talk, man. I definitely appreciate it, man. So I hope maybe I saw something wrong. Maybe I saw something improper. Maybe it was some. Was there a hippo on the loose in Chicago yesterday evening? Like, I really need to know a couple of things because rumor has it that there was a hippo roaming the streets of Chicago. I believe in Boston, some penguins were stolen. Right? Like, I don't know if these things are true. I mean, you know, the internet has a way of like just doing shit. But I mean, the way things are going, like, why the fuck not? Why? I mean, at this point, who gives a shit, right? You got celebrities faking break-ins at their stores, you know, getting GoFundMe's, and people are doing it. Like, it's such a baffling, bizarro world that we're in right now. It makes absolutely no sense, but yet here we are, right? Well, I know the call's going to be good tonight. I know the call's going to be really good tonight. Go hard. What all out. So, Nacho, what's the motherfucking deal? No birthday presents for Heidi. No. It turned out to be a fake article? Okay. Because I was just about to say, like, what the fuck? Like, people have just lost their shit. But what I do know is that I've been seeing people looting. I've been seeing people doing crazy stuff. And then there's this argument between, well, is it Antifa? Because there's like this abnormal amount of white people at these protests. And that's like one of the first things that stood out to me, right? Is because I've looked at other little marches and protests in the past. And it's generally, I won't say monotone, because there's definitely multiple shades of black people. But it's here and there kind of sprinkled in. But it's really, really noticeable. And I'm just like, something weird is happening here. All uniformed, all dressed in all black, barely see their faces. They move a certain way. They're just doing things. They like their look is just a little bit different than others who, you know, just seem to be wearing masks to cover their face, to, you know, Rona masks or whatever they got going on, right? And so people are having this debate: is it right? Is it you know, right wing radicals trying to infiltrate the black movement, or is it, you know, something different? Is it the cop? And I think on the multiple numbers, and then, you know what, Antifa ends up getting labeled as a terrorist organization, and, you know, people question, well, if that's the case, you know, why is it, you know, the KKK or something like that labeled a terrorist organization, which is a very interesting question to ask, right? So you have a whole bunch of shit going on. And again, I want to make this clear. For the sake of conversation is why I'm kind of keeping, I guess what you would call is an open mind. Oh man, there's a coon list, and I'm mad I didn't save it. Right, everybody's gotten canceled. A lot of these social media comedians have gotten canceled. Desi got canceled, apparently, and I just found him out like 2 weeks ago. I was like, damn, I got to cancel him already. I just found out about him. Now he's canceled. Damn, I'm still on the trial subscription. I didn't even know. But it's just so much going on. And I'm going to be honest, like, if I was to share my thoughts on a lot of these things, which I will throughout the evening, make sure you hit that like
There's
button.
random piles of bricks in the streets.
That's random pause, but yeah, appreciate that, Jada. Like, yeah, appreciate like that's crazy. And man, stop hating on my boy Whitlock. I don't know what happened with Whitlock. I'm sure he probably got a coon card. I'm gonna get a coon shirt. Y'all think I'm joking? I'm gonna drop a coon shirt in the store, real soon. I got a couple of what is it, acronyms for you, man. Look, you know what is it? What are they talking about? Coon chip activated. But my thing is like, here's the deal. You know, an organized movement is a dangerous weapon. The BLM protests, whether you think it's a protest, whether you think it's a riot, whether you think whatever is going on, it's not an organized movement, right? But me personally, I do believe it is an Antifa thing within that kind of infiltrated the BLM thing and kind of carried out their agenda. That's an organized movement. Because, like I say, you know, there were some things going around. You saw that they basically had coordinated every event throughout the country by region, you know, as far as events to people in those cities, Antifa members in those cities to go and attend and things like that. Uh, like, so they can be, they came with a strategy and a plan, you know what I mean? And they came to execute. Now, I'm not saying that they just, you know, pull some fucking James Bond villain take over the world scheme. It's just that they destroyed, they got people riled up because, you know, we live in this monkey see, monkey do society. People have pent up anger. People have been in the house for a long time, you know. What happened to Corona, right? Social distancing isn't a thing anymore. So, like, how much does that speed up the experiment that we've been living in? I mean, because nobody gave a fuck, right? Now, at this point, you kill a man in the streets, it's time to come together as one. You know, we're gonna solve two problems at one stone. We're gonna solve police brutality, and we're gonna cure Corona as a society. Because that's just we're America. It's a lot of shit, man. Again, and like I said, I'm not condoning the rioters, but I do understand. And for the sake of conversation, the reason why I want to keep it open minded, because again, some people in here may feel that way, and the den is about everybody having a perspective. My deal is like, I think you're contradicting your message. Oh, you know, because you got this. If you say anything reasonable or sensible about this situation, you get your coon chip activated. You know, my coon chip has been activated for a long time ago because my deal is this: like, what the fuck good is it? Who are you benefiting? Rioting, looting, you know, hitting the lick, getting some shitty fucking clothes that you're gonna wear for a little bit, or you're gonna sell off in the hood to get some money. You're gonna blow real quick. It's not gonna last. You're selfish, right? That it's not for the greater good, because a lot of these places that have been getting worn out and fucked off have been, you know, black owned businesses, which you're supposedly, you know, mad about the oppression on black, but then you go and create economic oppression, right, at your own hands by robbing and looting these places. Conveniently, that these high fashion shops are getting hit. Conveniently, these exclusive sneaker shops are getting raided. You know, it's so funny that I guess this is where oppression comes from. But again, you know, a lot of these places have black owners that, you know, and you're still committing these acts. So what is it? What is it really? Beverly Hills, you know, again, you know, locations where normally niggas wouldn't go. You know, you see large crowds feeling very comfortable, and that's why I say, you know, it's a lot more white people involved in this than I've seen previously. Now, I don't know how many are there to march and support. I don't know how many. This is everybody, honestly, but niggas too. And like the video I posted, niggas coming all races. Oh, that dude was on a roll. Like, that dude could have had a movie moment. Like, he was saying a great speech, and yeah, we just need to come together, everybody, and just, you're doing good. And niggas coming all races, and they canceled him instant. Like, whoa.
It's fun and games until an Amazon truck got hit.
Oh shit! So often until the Amazon truck got hit. Oh wow, that's terrible. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's to the point where the people are now it's defeating the purpose. Now it's just rioting, it's mobs. They're talking about some places are getting hit in residential areas, and once motherfuckers start getting knocked off, you're gonna be highly upset. Oh, they stomped the fuck out that one dude. Again, they said he was protecting the store, and you hear all kind of version stories. At this point, you don't know what is what, right? but you do know somebody got fucked up. Motherfuckers are fighting each other. People are getting hit with rubber projectile. Like, have y'all ever seen a fucking rubber bullet? Right? Oh, let me see if I got the fucking photo of this shit. This shit is ridiculous, man. It's crazy. Like, I always thought a rubber bullet was like a bullet, rubber tip, right? No, I might be wrong, but this is what. Let me pull this up, because now I've seen that, and I saw some that did have, like, the bullets with the rubber tip. But let me show you. The motherfuckers been getting their eyes knocked out. Like, it's I saw at least 4 stories of motherfuckers who've getting hit with rubber bullets and gotten have lost their eyes, like had to have immediate surgery and lost their eyes, won't ever see again. Out here protesting. Like, that's crazy shit. That's a fucking story to tell, right? It's crazy. Motherfuckers, like, it was the dude who's sitting on the fucking corner, like, smoking a cigarette, just posted up. Fucking shot him twice, like, had his shit leaking. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, some motherfuckers on their porch, and I don't know if that was Boston or not, they start shooting fucking paintballs at them for sitting on their porch. Like, it's crazy, right? Like, I get it. Stay out the streets, but you're talking about an individual sitting there. Motherfucker push the old man down. Like, it's a lot of crazy shit going on, right? Does force need to be shown? Yeah, motherfuckers are going crazy. Yeah, absolutely. But the weird thing about it seems, though, oh, Bizzle. Almost got me. I almost didn't make it. Barely. Someone out there dog poop on the line. That's terrible. Now that definitely deserves a rubber bullet. Motherfuckers don't pick up their dog shit. They're the worst people. So, but like I say, but yeah, if you got motherfuckers acting a fool, well, they absolutely deserve it. They like, yeah, get the motherfuckers up out of here. But here's the thing: where they're looting and rioting, the police ain't doing anything. But it's like where the protests are, it seems like that's where the police are. Like, where they're looting and rioting, like, the cops kind of like in the area, and they're fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just kind of watching, I guess, make sure nobody's like, and motherfuckers are looting in groups. Like, niggas are moving as a unit in 4 or 5 cars deep and looting stores, loading the car, but hitting the next, like, it is ridiculous shit that is going on. Thank you, Jess Sarah. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes. Man. Oh, word. I hadn't even seen the sword thing. I heard about the sword thing. I haven't even seen the sword thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, but you say, people are saying, like, if you don't own the store, man, you better get the fuck up out of there. Like, if you don't own that fucking store, don't protect that goddamn store, fuck you and that store. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? So my deal is, your house, your home, your family, well, yeah, you may have to catch a few bodies, my friend, and I don't blame you. But, like a store, if it's your store, absolutely. Buck, what's the motherfucking deal? Like, if it's your store, do the damn thing. That's your livelihood. That's how you make money. That's how you eat. I won't blame somebody for that. But if that shit ain't your store, you have nothing to gain from it. Like, wait till all the shit done. Come back tomorrow. Fucking help clean up. Like, that's my best advice. Because J.R. Smith beat the brakes off that little motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's just,
the 18-wheeler was worse TBH.
Like, oh my God, the 18-wheeler shit. The 18-wheeler shit is terrible, man. And that was crazy. But here's my thing. People say I'm fucked up, but it was his fault. Like, the dude, here's my deal, right? Let's throw this out here, right? Okay? I'm Jay Dizzle. Imagine I'm Professor Trio, right? I'm driving around Colorado, my big truck, look at me in my truck, I feel like a big man. I'm Professor Trio. I'm going to listen to the dead. I'm going to call in and talk some shit. So anyway, and I get on the highway. I don't know that there's a protest on this highway. I'm cross country. I'm all over the place, right? I don't know that there's a scheduled fucking protest. I'm getting my money. There's an opportunity for me. I'm heading down the highway. Hey, it's not a lot of traffic on the highway. This is good for me. I'm gonna make a good run. I'm doing good. I'm riding. I'm good, right? And in the distance, and yes, you have an elevated view, so you're going to see your field of vision is going to be a little bit better. So you're going to see a little ways down, but then you all of a sudden see a fucking bunch of people in the fucking road, right? And then you mash the brakes. Hold on. Miss Jessera, thank you so much, ma'am.
If they try to loot the truck that's bringing my asterisk Honcho the main Sancho shirt, I'm going to jack someone up.
Is the alerts not making sound? Are they not? Are the alerts not going off? What the fuck is up with the alerts, man? I don't know, every other day it seems like it's something with this shit. I apologize if it's not reading. I thought it was reading. Says that they jacked the truck with the Honcho the main Sancho. Sure, you go jack something up. I'm gonna tell them put special protections on that. I got you. I'm gonna put in a word, but you know. And so they stop, right? And then people start jumping on the truck. And that was one of them fucking double trailer trucks. I don't know what the fancy name is. Maybe Trill knows it, right? And it's a FedEx truck. FedEx ain't playing. And it might be overnight deliveries on that bitch. You know, hey, you might have shit on that motherfucker. So motherfuckers start crawling all over your truck. And I appreciate the love of all of y'all, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Jaja, Jasira, Sean, appreciate the love. Real Talk, appreciate the love, man. Thank all of y'all, man. Man, that damn, it's a wonderful way to start off the month. I feel appreciated. Thank you. But my thing is, you know, if I'm a truck driver, right, I got goods, I got things, I got people who need these packages. Crazy stuff going on. I come into a crowd of people, they start jumping all over my truck like it's fucking you know, what, World War Z or some shit, some fucking zombie movie, Train to Busan, so I don't know. And they're climbing all over my shit. And y'all know, when was that? It was in the early 90s. And I forgot his name. I know somebody in the chat knows his name. When old buddy got out and they basically beat him to death. You know what I'm saying? We said he was in the army for prison. Right? I'm definitely going to check that out. Sean, appreciate the love. But, man, I lost track. I'm trying to hurry up and catch it. Like when you fucking, you're losing the idea of what you were talking about. Gosh dang nabbit. What was I fucking talking about? They came back and karate kicked us. Shut the fuck
Honcho,
up.
you saw when a dude in Houston kicked
what
the
is going- that's what
officer
I'm
in
saying,
the
what is
head
going
and tried
crazy,
to
man?
arrest him. He got away, come back, and karate kicked the officer, lol.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, the dude in Dallas, though, like, the FedEx. That's right. And then, so yeah, exactly. They killed our buddy like in the early '90s, right? Truck driver. He stopped, didn't know what was going on, got the brakes beat off of it. And so you got motherfuckers jumping in all over your truck. So you on MASH and old buddy's caught up and they're chasing him. And motherfuckers, oh, you should have stopped. Motherfuckers just tried to attack you, and what you're feeling like is that you're about to get robbed, right? You not realize that a motherfucker's caught between the wheels. You got a bunch of motherfuckers chasing after your truck. You think they chasing you down to rob you. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You're not finna stop. You shouldn't have been anywhere within that truck in the first place, knowing that there was a potential of that motherfucker starting up. Like, that's on whoever got dragged. I don't know what ultimately happened to them, but that's on them. And it may sound callous, it may sound fucked up, but you shouldn't have been on the fucking truck. Like, what were you doing on the truck? You weren't. I was casually crossing over. I was trying to get to the other side of the road, and I happened to be a FedEx truck in the way, so I thought I'd cross in between. I got caught. You see, the fucker started up and started dragging. No, right? So, and what is up with the medieval motherfuckers, right? Who are these medieval people, LARPers, coming out of the fucking woodworks, right? And with bow and arrows and swords and all of this crazy stuff that's going on. It's ridiculous. America's gone mad, right? But I say all of this stuff, and I know there's things I've missed. And so when we open up the phone lines here shortly, you guys can call in and speak more on it. But I mean, is this just the beginning? Is there more to come? Are things going to start settling down? Like, then independent report comes back. Oh, he did die from asphyxiation. Directly from asphyxiation. Not from underlying conditions. Because if that's the case, honestly, you can apply underlying conditions to anything, right? And then that's when things start getting really sketchy everywhere around. So it's going to be real interesting. Does that change, what you're charged with, or the charge has already been levied, so it's too late to change? Like, it's a lot of stuff going on. Is the coroner, the county coroner, is he suspect? Do you start questioning him now? You got an FBI investigation involved. What's going on? Like, it's a lot of shit that is involved, right? And exactly, if this guy walks, and there has to be some level, right, of awareness, right? There has to be some level of awareness to realize, like, in Minnesota, that if we let this guy walk scot-free, it's really going down, not just here, but everywhere. And I think what you have now is a situation where, the relationship between law enforcement and the people is in a weird spot right now, right? It's real crazy. Because on one hand, you have law enforcement kneeling with the protesters, taking a stand and saying things, and it all sounds really good, right? But here's my thing. Now, do I think that it's just this big fucking super assassination attempt, which is wiping niggas out left and right every day? No. Do I believe that there are white supremacists on police force? Oh, what in what am I? Oh, hold on. It's a whole bunch going on, right? I am missing, and let me get caught. I just happened to look at the screen, right? Motherfucker. It's just what I'm saying. It's impossible to be serious. And I'm really trying to be. Appreciate the love 335 and Miss Grace.
I won't be left in the dust with donations.
Okay, I thought I missed it. Okay,
I
so
love kicking it around the campfire with my dead family. Red heart, red heart.
I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. I thought I was like, I missed it. Okay, all right. Let's calm down. I appreciate the love, Miss Grace 335. Appreciate the love. Wow, then folks, man. Ice Cube said today was a good. Ice Cube also said sometimes. Just I ain't gonna quote Ice Cube today. Yeah,
if he walks, the purge begins. Pensive face.
If he walks, the purge. I agree. Right? And I think you got people who are angry, and I think you're gonna have a lot of change with this, because to me, this series of protests feels so different, right? And Miss K Grace, thank you. I love y'all. Well, no. I like some of y'all. Some of y'all I think are really cool. Some of y'all I love. Some of y'all. But and so yeah. But getting back to the relationship between people and law enforcement now is in this weird place, because you see a lot of law enforcement that are trying to unify, say, hey, we think this is fucked up. You've seen a lot of chiefs come out and say, hey, this is fucked up. It's like this weird energy around the whole thing, right? But you have law enforcement in the streets, and I think once you strap up and you put that gear on and you finally get a chance to do that thing that you always wanted to become law enforcement for, that blood is rushing, that adrenaline's pumping, you're not thinking about every single. You just, hey, shit's going crazy. My job is to get it in line, and I'm going to do that to what I feel is the best of my know-how. Now, it's a lot of fucked up shit going on out there. There's a lot of motherfuckers out there just real careless, not giving. Just some fucked up shit, some unnecessary shit is happening. But at the same time, like I said, you got some wild shit going on, and it's just so you got a lot of these visuals, a lot of optics, negative. Of law enforcement, but you have a lot of positive optics, and it's just so I don't know what the public perception ultimately is going to be when it comes out. Is it going to be swayed? Because you're seeing Americans, right? Protesters. And you see them motherfuckers get their ass lit up, right? Motherfuckers lost. I told you, I see motherfuckers lost. I see motherfuckers get a chunk knocked out of their forehead. Motherfuckers have had their eyes removed since in the last 24 hours, 48 hours. Like, for peaceful protest, like there are a lot more losses happening than just the life of George Floyd, and that's what people have to realize. You know, these movements being infiltrated and some of these other things that are going on, a lack of organization is going to cost you. Now, I'm not going out and riot shit. I'm not going out and march. I'm not going out and protest. I think there's definitely different and better ways of handling things, but I'm not some leader of any organization, so we're not going to get into that or my personal opinions on that. I just think that if you're trying to get certain results handled, I think there's ways to get it done. Cause there's some things that matter when I think when you're trying to change. I think you got to change public perception of certain things, and then we go from there. All right. Okay. So, I have been running my mouth quite a bit, and there's definitely still more that can be talked about, but I don't want to be the all-night talker, but because y'all have made it such a wonderful evening, we're definitely having an extended in tonight, so shout out to, if you're in the chat, shout out to everybody who has shown some love and donated, super chat, face masked, anything tonight. Actually, y'all definitely got the party started, and definitely got this off to a good month. So definitely, thank you all y'all. We're definitely gonna have some extended in action tonight. And thank you to all of y'all. It's not just about the super chats or the donations, like they kind of sound like some other shit. But no, I appreciate all of y'all. But they definitely set it off. Makes it a little bit more worthwhile, right? Can't lie about that. So let me get the line open. Let's get everything. How do the youth say cracking? Excuse me. Pardon me. I apologize. But other than that, I feel like there's something else that is supposed to be discussed. Like I say, it's just this has just been taking up the fucking news cycle.
Good evening, Honcho. Been holding my tongue for too long today. Hope you're good, safe, and healthy. We still need to have an MMA sauce sports night.
I agree. We definitely haven't done that. We definitely have not done the MMA. Modest, because we definitely need to get it would be good to have a good little round table about the MMA. Interesting thing. I don't know if y'all saw the John Jones thing, where he was basically walking out, I think, what is it, Albuquerque, I think? He was out there hanging out with Big M or something like that. And and whenever he was like a bunch of little Antifa dudes, he went and was taking their spray cans and shit. Like, okay, I see John. Hey, that's what a way to be a defender of your city. Give me just a second here. All right, where we at? Oh my God, like, two more things. I know I said I'm gonna open up the line. Two more things real quick, right? I'm going to show you guys a video. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I gotta fucking do it. Like, this is why. And there's mixed reactions on this shit, right? Okay? There's mixed reactions on this shit. Now, one, was a video of a woman. I'm not gonna pull that up, but it was a video of a woman twerking. She was protest twerking, right? Like this is where we are, right? This is why motherfuckers ain't gonna take you serious. Protest twerking. Like this is where we are. So I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. Give me just a second. Let me pull
Honcho, look at the what I sent you on Discord. I have used all of those things. Also, because the army has rule, you have know what it feels like before you can use it on other. I have had them used on me.
Mr. Real Talk, thank you, sir. Mr. Il Lobo, thank you, sir. King John, K Grace 335. Everybody. It's like every time I fucking turn my head and something pops says, you know, things in the army, so you really know what it feels like. Oh man, damn that. Damn that. If it looks, I'm finna check it out right now. If it looks anything like the shit that I saw earlier, man, fuck that. If it looks like the results that I've been seeing people get fucking hit with, like damn that. I'm not gonna do that. You know, I've gotten pretty comfortable with both of my eyes, as shitty as they may be sometimes. I don't know if the audio is going to be with this or not. Let me see if I got it up. I want you guys to. I'm a whole lot after this. After this, we're gonna take calls. But I want y'all to enjoy it. This is protest. Like, I want to know your thoughts on this. I'm laughing. I'm clowning. Some people take this shit very seriously. Like, some people are very upset because people are clowning about this. I want to know y'all's thoughts on this shit. Y'all know I'm a clown regardless. I mean, even if I do think it is something serious, but just check it out. But here's the thing, as you guys enjoy this musicless performance, you're not listening to anything. Watch this. Did you see that cop's face? Like, I swear that cop is going to shake his eye. Again, just want to know y'all's thoughts.
Let's go forward, please.
First, man, I'm amazed. First, I appreciate all the love, man. I just happen to actually look back at the chat and see all the little things up at the top, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much, for real. I really do appreciate it. All right, let's get this party started. Let me put the number up. Let me get the line up. Let's take some calls. 10-minute rule in effect. Welcome to the Den. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the Den this evening?
Good afternoon. It is John from New York. How are you?
John, my favorite New Yorker. I'm doing well, Mr. John. How are you doing this evening, Sir John?
Since I saw that stupid video just now, I'm doing fucking horrible. What is that?
I mean, John, just admit you're jealous. You don't got the moves like Jagger. That's what it is. You want to be able to dance like that. Come on, admit it.
I'll admit it. I got moves like Drake. I don't got moves like Jagger.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little two-step. Okay. Well, John, what are your thoughts, man? With everything that's been going on around the country, even certain places around the world in relation to this, what are your thoughts on the things that have been happening?
It's ridiculous. It's sad. It's angering, if that's a word. And it's just pathetic. I mean, peaceful protesting is good. I understand people have been saying, like, sometimes you got to do more. I see their point, although I don't agree with it, but I see their point for sure. And I just feel like there's been, over 140 cities that have done some form of protesting / rioting / looting. And it's just like all you see all over the place is the country being torn apart, the fucking streets being graffitied up, windows smashed in, people beat up, killed. And then you have some protesters who are doing it legitimately. And I think that's getting overshadowed by all the derelicts.
I definitely agree. Yeah, 'cause you've been seeing people in a lot of these cities too come out like the day after and actually try to, clean up a lot of the shit, around their communities and their neighborhoods. And I have no beef with that. I probably wouldn't be cleaning any corporate-owned stores. They got money for that. But if you got parks and shit like that have been defaced and things like that, I definitely get it. So what happens from here? I mean, do the riots continue, or people continue to be angry? I know the National Guard is being called in many places. A lot of these places have curfews now. What's going on? I mean, what happens at this point?
It's pretty much a wrap. I think, in D.C., Trump pretty much called in the military police. He had the National Guard there. He had the D.C. Metro Police there. They have fucking horses. They have helicopters flying like a few hundred feet up. So it's got like 100-mile-an-hour winds coming down on people, kicking up dirt and everything. So D.C.'s done. It's over with. I think the other states, they're pussies. They should have fucking called in. I found out that you can call in National Guard, but you can make them stand down in terms of using any kind of accelerated policing laws. I feel that the states should have gave them, a day or two as far as like the protesters and to see if it was just going to be peaceful protesting or if it was going to get out of line. And after a day or two, you should have fucking stepped up and been like, look, if you're not protesting, we're going to fuck you up. If you are protesting, we'll leave you alone. But they fucked up because, it's all about politics and certain image. I mean, a lot of these protests have been happening in predominantly Democrat states. So we have an election coming up. So I just feel like Cuomo fucking should have called in the National Guard and the fucking military fucking from day one. Instead, you got fucking NYPD boxing fucking people in the middle of the street. They were running people over with their cars. They were boxing people, fucking Jake the Snake, DDT fucking people. Like, it was ridiculous. I loved it, but it's like, why did it have to get that far? And it's just sad because this guy died, and supposedly what everyone's saying was he would never have wanted this. He was a peaceful guy. He was a loving guy. He would never wanted this. His brother came out and said, today, guys, just relax. Please stop with the nonsense. His fiance said the same thing, like when it first happened, he wouldn't want this. And it's like, I thought about it today, and I was talking with my mom last night because we watched a clip of it on TV, and I just said to myself, like, my mom, like, we were watching it, and yesterday I was listening to the radio, and I don't know if by you, but over by us, we got a pretty popular guy called Funkmaster Flex who's been on the radio for like 20 years. And he was ripping into like Meek Mill. He's like, not everybody's a thought. Like, Meek Mill, not every criminal's innocent. He was ripping Jay-Z. He's like, you think Colin Kaepernick, you think kneeling is done? He was going after people who were like, if you think all police officers are bad, check yourself. Maybe you have too many running with the laws for a reason. Not all police officers are good. He's like, we definitely got to call it the bad ones, but we got to show more love to the good ones to build our relationship with the police. So he was like going in. So it's like, and then, calling into the den the last couple of nights and hearing one's conversations. I feel like a lot of people, regardless of what your nationality, race, religion, whatever point of political party, I think everyone's looking at this the same way, and which is like it's out of line, it's ridiculous, it's for a good cause, but it's not being done the right way. And even if it was being done the right way, nothing got done. Like they didn't get to the White House, they didn't get to any political figure, popular places. You know what I mean? Like even if you wanted to do like a revolution, you didn't get it done. And, my mom and I were, like, watching the TV, and there was a bunch of white kids, like, smashing, like, the windows and graffitiing. And then there was a bunch of black kids looting. And my mom and I both looked at each other at the same exact time and said, the black people are going to get blamed for all this, right? And we were just like both like nodded our head. And my mom was just like, I don't understand why people are doing, like, I don't understand why you would smash businesses that had nothing to do with this. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they do. You don't know what donations they make or what charities they work with to help certain causes. And you're just going crazy. And my mom was like, these are just kids that just want to fuck things up to fuck things up. They don't. My mom was like, they don't care about this guy. They probably don't even know his name. And it was just crazy. I mean, like, I was thinking about today that literally more black people got killed during these riots because of the riots than got killed from police brutality, the last couple of weeks. It was like there was a black police officer who got killed. There was a black teenager who got shot. There was another black guy that got killed. And it's just like, there was a black guy who was looting who got shot and killed. And I'm just like, this is supposed to be like against police brutality. It's supposed to be about like, ending oppression. And here, like, the people who are being oppressed are dying, and it's over reasons that are ridiculous. So I just felt like it's just the message has been lost for most logical thinking people. I think it got to the point where most people were like, how long are we going to let all these neighborhoods burn down? At what point do you stop them? And I think, personally, I'm mad at Trump because I think he waited too long. I think Trump, after the second day, should have been like, all right, military, get out there, fuck people up. But what do you got? Yeah, hold on a second, sir. Let me just start one fight. Kenneth, shouldn't you be outside burning down a Waffle House in the name of Black Power? Today's the anniversary of Black Wall Street's massacre. Go. Be gone. Go ahead. What were you saying, Honcho? I'm sorry. The chat room is saying you're muted.
Play us fuck up. Yeah, but what I was saying was this, that actually, I forgot. I lost my train of thought because I was telling Miss Thang. No, it's not my birthday, but it feels like, so I appreciate that. But it's saying, looking at this, all the collateral damage that's being done, from these things. It was a video I saw that was really saddening, and it was an older lady, and she was just like, you guys are out here. Paraphrase, she didn't say this on the news, but basically saying, y'all are fucking everything up, and that Dollar Tree that y'all fucked up and raided. That fucking, little corner store, all the other places around here that y'all raided, the buses aren't running. That's the only place I can get to the shop. I can only, access, and like, so, even those people that you mentioned that, had their lives taken from them, but it's also the inconvenience to the regular citizens who are just trying to live their day-to-day life. A lot of the older citizens who may not be able to get around as much, especially if you're an older, low-income citizen, where a lot of this stuff started out. Like, again, I get it. The point is to, have a message, be heard. But when your message starts to cause more damage to the people you're trying to bring awareness to, and like you kind of mentioned just a little while ago, the message becomes lost. And I think that's where we are. And I think people allowed it to become lost because, again, like I said, I think of the lack of real organization, and it created this problem.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. This was a waste. I mean, I don't know anyone who I've spoken to over the past week that has changed their opinion on anything in terms of being more open-minded to police brutality or anything like that. They're all like, what's the point of this? They're all focusing on Antifa. They're all focusing on the violence. Nobody's really focusing on the protesting anymore.
Correct.
And by the way, the protesting was not completely peaceful because the protesting in front of the White House, I watched it until 8 in the morning each of the last 2 nights. And they were throwing shit at the National Guard, throwing water bottles, other things. It grabbed one of the National Guard guys and pulled him into the crowd and started beating him up. And luckily he didn't get shot for that shit. So they're lying that they're peaceful at times, but they were not complete peaceful the whole entire time in front of the White House. They set a fire to the guardhouse in front of the White House. They set a fire to the church across the street from the White House. So they could say that they can blame it on Antifa, which 99.9% of the crime was from Antifa and from other people, but there was a couple people within the crowd throwing shit at the fucking National Guard. But oh man, what else? Did you hear about the 2 Atlanta police officers who got fired?
No.
Tasering the young black couple.
No, I didn't know they fired them. The ones that were I saw that I saw when it happened on the news, but I was watching on a live feed when it actually took place. I was like, oh, that's fucking crazy. They fired them. No, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I was fucking pissed. I guess the mayor, she is Bottoms. I don't know her first name, but I know his name is Bottoms.
Yeah.
Fucking, she fired them that night. I don't know about her, but they got fired that night.
Well, they made her good friend T.I. look bad. He said this is Wakanda, and next they do that, and they're like, what kind of shit is that? What kind of shit are you doing out there? So, and that's kind of where we are. So,
but I was so mad that they got fired because I'm like, why? Like, I just felt like I had my little woke moment. I'm like, they only got fired so quickly because they're black. I was like, if there were 2 white officers, they would have fucking waited all week to fucking do an internal investigation. Mm-hmm. But they told the guy to fucking stop the car. He wouldn't stop. Then they told him to open the windows. They wouldn't open the windows. Then they got the door open. They still wouldn't get out. Then they got the girlfriend out, and they tasered him, and then he still wouldn't get out, and he still didn't have the car in park, and the car kept rolling. I'm just like, okay, like. And you heard the extended video. The officer's talking to the lady, and the guy's like, "Dude, I told you to stop how many times? You didn't stop the car because they were out after curfew."
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just everybody's like on edge right now.
Yeah, everybody's losing their shit. It's a very weird time, So I don't know.
By the way, I'm gonna let you run. I just want to say one thing. Today is the kickoff of Pride Month. It's June 1st. And the governor of Puerto Rico is signing a bill tonight called the Civil Code, and what it does is it strips all gay people of their rights.
Really?
If you're gay and you get married, your kids are not allowed to inherit your estate. They can't own your home. They can't inherit your money. If you're gay, you can't get health insurance. Just total fucking Hitler type shit on gay people.
What? That's crazy,
If you're gay, if you're a gay couple, you cannot hire a surrogate mother to have your child.
That's I have no comment on that right now at the time, but that's definitely I did not know about it. That's definitely something we need to dive into in the near future.
Shit is harsh.
Yeah, that's
when you make a staunch conservative, Republican, Christian, heterosexual, Trump suburban white supporter feel bad for the LGBTQIA community, you're harsh and fucked up.
What is the IA? What is IA?
Intersectional and I think asexual.
Yeah, those fucking, that's too much. Now that we've gone too goddamn far. Okay, yeah, no, that's crazy.
Anyway.
I'm gonna look into that. That's definitely pretty fucked up, though. Because here's my thing: people say whatever they want to. I feel like all people deserve to be treated as humans. Now, when you start acting all out of character, then that's when we start judging you. But for whatever you got going on, I don't think people should be oppressed for that. So. That's unfortunate. We'll take that out. We'll talk about it. All right. Well, Mr. John,
all right.
I appreciate you kicking everything off.
I look forward to the calls.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you,
right.
sir.
Have a good night.
All right. You too, sir. Josephine Johnny. Damn it. I forgot that. I definitely did. Let me see something. Let's, sorry. All right, sorry about that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What up?
Hello. What's going on?
What's up, Honcho?
Hello, D-Love. What's the motherfucking deal, D-Love? What's on your mind this evening, sir?
I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this rioting and this looting and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start off with saying the people at the top, like the ones controlling all this, the puppet masters, they don't necessarily care about race at all. they're gonna divide us up any way they possibly can, whether it's black against white,
Mhm.
man against women, people against the police. They're trying to create division because what they need is order out of chaos, right? And that is exactly what's happening now. So as far as the peaceful protest going, a lot of the black people are doing the peaceful protest, but um, it's the people of other races, writing Black Lives Matter on the wall. Now, of course, there are exceptions to this new rule, but there was a video of people confronting them. There was a video of a black woman confronting some guy. He appeared to be white. He was like spray painting, during graffiti of like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, and she confronted him, and he had no. I guess he had no explanation. He just flipped him off twice. But the problem is the media is not going to say that. The media is gonna direct their attention to what it says, Black Lives Matter, and that's going to be that. But as far as this race war, that's what they want because they're trying to use it as a plot to to bring on a new world order. I don't know if you saw this video of Megan Thee Stallion. I guess it was her. She looked out her window and they had the little Humvees and the police. They were shooting at them, telling them to get back in the house, stuff like that. So yeah, it's really getting crazy, and it's happening overnight, stuff like that. So I most definitely expect it to get worse because this is what they've been planning the whole time. Order out of chaos, and the looting and the rioting. The people flipping police cars and stuff like that, which I mean, the way I look at it is that could have been one of the police that took off the badges and protest with y'all. So I mean, that's clearly not a productive way to go about it. And the people looting, Foot Locker and just stealing stuff, like who are y'all supporting? Who exactly are y'all supporting? They're breaking into stores and stealing and stuff like that. I mean, if anything, y'all definitely not helping the cause because once again, they want order out of chaos. So y'all just asking for martial law. Say it again, Hunter. I can.
A lot of black people out there who feel like the statements that you just made are very coonish. There's a lot of people who said that would say that your coonship has been activated. Why do you care about these corporations being looted? Why do you care that that this can take away from the crime? It brings awareness, right? Why do you care
Awareness.
about any of the law enforcement that get involved in this? Should you be caring about any of this if people feel like they don't care about us?
So let's talk about the business, the corporation.
Hmm.
So you say,
Hmm.
what exactly does looting a Foot Locker gonna do on Well, how is that supposed to bring awareness to George George Floyd?
My
Because if I'm not
nigga, my
mistaken,
nigga, it's gonna bring awareness to my fresh new feet, though, right? That's all that matter, right?
your parents are the ones, or you're gonna have to your taxes are gonna have to go to towards like building that up, right?
Hmm.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So is that really helping the case or anything? And
People don't care
so
about
here's the
people.
thing,
People
Hunter.
are only concerned about helping themselves. Ultimately, I think a lot of people are out there looking for an opportunity to prey on the chaos, like you said. They take advantage of the chaos, sneak in, get them a little something, have a little come up, and nobody says anything.
Right. But here's the thing, though. If you if people are going around looting buildings and setting stuff on fire, what is that? How is that going to work as far as you know people who believe that how do you think they're going to quell the rioting and stuff like that? And the National Guard, I find it kind of strange that they're being deployed, but they're not allowed to have mags and their weapons and stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of weird to me. But anyways, the outcome depends solely on how the people react to it. Obviously, if they continue to loot stores and riot and stuff like that, I mean, the military force ain't gonna stop anytime soon. You know what I mean? If it's their ultimate goal to do martial arts, because I don't even think I think all this especially this corona, I believe that was a distraction in the first place. And as far as all of this, the rioting and stuff like that, I really think this is what they want, to bring about control and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the first Purge, the movie. It was the most recent edition of Purge.
So what you're saying is the last purge is the first purge?
Exactly. If you look, it's ironic, but the title is the first Purge, but it was the most recent edition of it. And so basically, it started off as an experiment, and they needed people to participate in a purge in order to keep it going and stuff like that. And it was in a predominantly black neighborhood, so nobody was really purging. Of course, it was exceptions. So what they ended up doing was hiring missionaries to go around and start killing people to make it look like that it was being active and stuff like that. They went up in a church and killed people. So I mean, now that's not I'm not saying that this is what they're trying to do, but the way it seems, it's like I wouldn't be surprised if they're going around, trying to perpetrate some of the stuff to make it look like that we need order out of chaos and stuff like that. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So I mean, I got different views on how things are going, but I mean, all I'm saying is that looting and rioting is not causing a problem. If anything, it's adding fuel to the fire.
So what do you think it's going to take for people to be satisfied with an outcome from all of this?
And for people to be satisfied, I mean, obviously, justice, so whatever they perceive justice to be, whether it's all four of the cops that was involved in the death of George to be prosecuted. For what I understand, they prosecuted the dude, they charged him, the guy that actually had his name on his neck, with third-degree murder. So as far as the other cops, I mean, if them bring it, getting justice and stuff like that, that might help. But I mean, a lot of the people that are out there doing it probably don't even care for it. They're just out there, looting stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as them, I don't know. People just want to do stuff.
People are just out there trying to just take advantage of whatever little situation they can.
Yeah. I just still in Jordan and stuff like that.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. Okay, all right.
That is it. But no, that's it though. I'm gonna go ahead and get off and let some other people call in.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, sir, and thank you for calling in and sharing your thoughts with us this evening.
And by the way, I see you like my donations. I try to keep the den running as best as I can. I give everything. I give what I can.
I mean, they say in the Den Discord that so allegedly some people say that you be snitching, right? So I'm wondering, if your donations are coming from the little bonuses you're getting from 222 tips. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wondering. I appreciate the love, and all that good stuff. But I'm just wondering, if you're getting an extra stimulus package from telling on folks who've been out there looting, while they still got the merch and shit in their house. Everybody got a hustle. That might be your hustle. I don't know. I'm just saying that's what the rumors are.
We can keep that on the low.
Okay.
We can keep that on the low.
I ain't gonna tell nobody.
Go ahead and hop off.
I ain't gonna tell nobody play. I see you play. That's a bad deal, love, man. I appreciate you calling in.
All right.
Water. It's beautiful. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, man? Honcho, this is Kenneth, bro.
Kenneth, Mr. Fitzgerald.
No, bro, the other one, dude.
Oh, old Kenneth. Oh, what's up, old Kenneth? How you doing, old Kenneth? What's on your mind, sir?
Man, I thought I'd just call in and just chime in on the topic just for a little bit. I might not even be here for the entire 10 minutes, but hey, who knows?
Okay. Well,
But
I really do
oh,
want to hear your perspective as a young gentleman during these times because, you know, it's something different. So go ahead, sir.
man, see, I'm not the most knowledgeable. I'm definitely not. A lot of y'all got more experience, live longer. Seen a lot more stuff that I have, and but for me looking at it now, it's the way it is. For me learning, the little bit of history, a little bit of US history that I do know, and kind of seeing the way that this country was built. And this country was built on kind of the same acts that you were seeing today. And I just find it odd how I feel like the message is being ignored. A few callers have said that the message is being ignored, and I feel like they feel like the looting is overshadowing the murder. But I feel like that's more of a problem that people have, that instead of the looting of it being cost. Let me explain myself a little bit better. So, with the looting occurring, right, and you would think that people would still be focusing on the murder, but with the looting and everything, it's like people are more shifting their focus towards the looting and not the murder. I feel like priorities should be prioritized. So, I think we need to be putting a lot more attention into the murder than the looting, you know, at all. And yes, it's hard, to kind of talk about this topic because there's so many opinions. You got people that aren't for it, and there's a lot of people that aren't for the type of protesting that's going on. And I get it, but then again, what has worked for the last 400 plus years? People have been protesting back since the civil rights era, since the Civil War, before that, and nothing has worked. They say peaceful protesting is the way to go, but then again, Dr. King tried the same thing, and a few nights ago, I forgot who mentioned it, that the greatest race of black people was during the 1950s and 60s and 70s, and I completely agree. But at the same time, where did that get us? We're still talking about this issue. We're still talking about this topic. So no matter what those people tried to do, they put themselves in the front lines, and yeah, we're still dealing with this issue for 50, 60, 70 years later. So when you think about that, it's like, what is it going to take? You sit around, we talk about it, we talk about it, we talk about it. And, they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting a different result. We've tried sitting down and talking about the issue, right? You know, we've tried, the same thing. We said, hey, can y'all stop? Can y'all stop? And nothing is changing, right? And, eventually you're gonna get tired, you're gonna snap, and things are gonna start going different. And I feel like that's what's going on. So there's definitely people that are trying to get their quick come up off the looting, but and as far as that's concerned, man, y'all might not like how I say it or what I say, but I feel like it's a necessary evil at this point because what else are we gonna do? Me being an Afro Latino guy, I deal with the same issues that you deal with, so I'm not excluded from this, because well, shit, I've been living in America for the last almost 10 years. I moved here when I was 8, so I've dealt with these issues. I've dealt with all of these things that you growing up dealt with, and you probably still do, because you being the way that you are, not trying to talk about you a lot, Honcho, but you being tall, you being black and you being the way that you are, you deal with these issues, and I know that you've encountered it, and I'm pretty sure you've spoken about them in the den before. So, it's kind of hard to just sit around and talk about it, sit around and tweet about it all the time, and not try to take action and try to take harsher action. Kind of like, I just find it difficult for people to just move on and talk about the issue and try to peacefully go about it. But I do agree with a lot of the previous callers that they said in the previous in the feed. Man, if I could speak English. In the last previous few nights when they said that the protests and the riots, they don't have some people say they don't have a problem with it. They just don't like the direction that it's occurring in. And I kind of agree with that in that same token, because it's like, if we're gonna riot and we're gonna loot, I say that we go loot these bigger businesses, not these biggest, not these biggest businesses. I'm sorry, but the houses of these higher ups. You know, these police stations, which I know have been looted and not looted, but destroyed. I say let's go after those. You know, let's go after the houses of these higher ups. You know, I feel like if you're gonna loot and you're gonna commit crime, make it worth it. I'm not condoning it, but because I'm not gonna go out there and go do it. You know, I'll donate my little money and hopefully it does something. So, you know, that's what I'm gonna do from afar. You know,
I'm gonna be honest, Mister Kenneth, sir. Sounds like you're funding terrorism. Uh,
no, 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 don't get it twisted. You know, isn't that what's going on right now, kind of domestic terrorism
mhm.
to to a certain extent. So it's like if you're gonna go do that, you know, like I said, I don't condone it, but if you're gonna go do it, make it hurt. You know, try to go after these people that actually have a way of changing these issues, like the hires. You know what I'm saying? But as far as taking down black-owned businesses, I'm not with that. You know, I'm not with any of that at all. But you know, the same people that you know praise they go and celebrate the Fourth of July and celebrate all the actions of America in the past. Like I said, with the Boston Tea Party and all these other stuff that we rebelled, the same way that they rebelled back in the 1700s, you're going to try and get change. Is the same way that it's kind of similar. Let me not say it's the same way, but it's very, very similar to the way that you know minorities are rebelling now. And for people to have kind of a problem with it is kind of hypocritical in a sense to me, you know, because this is the same way that America was built. You know, America was built upon conflict. America was built upon these same issues and the same way of handling these issues. So I don't see why you wouldn't understand the way why it's going on now because you know they say the past repeats itself. So you know you shouldn't be surprised at all. That's just the way that I feel about it, and you know I'm pretty sure people are going to disagree, and that's perfectly fine. But you know I just wanted to call and get my 2 cents in it.
Okay. you know, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if that's the way you feel, it's very interesting. But you said a couple of things that caught my attention. And it is really interesting. Like, so how would you say that most of your peers are responding to everything that's going on? Would you say they are aware, they're informed, do they not care? Like, are they more focused on nothing? Like, what would you say the attitude of your peers are right now?
They're definitely aware. It's kind of hard to not be aware unless you're just living under a rock. And you know, I've seen some people try to come up with some retarded shit talking about let's go loot the gallery at 3 o'clock, some crazy shit, which is like that I don't understand.
Yeah,
You know,
hit the
why
gallery,
go
though.
hit the gallery? Like,
They did,
what's the
though.
point in that? You know? And they did.
Yeah, I think that if I'm not mistaken, I saw some talking about the motherfuckers trying to, I don't think they did a whole bunch there, but I do believe they hit the gallery.
Yeah, like I don't quite understand that, you know. But I don't understand trying to go loot it just for you to try and capitalize off of it, and that just doesn't make any sense to me. But a lot of the people that I know, and a lot of the people that I've seen on social media, you know, they have been speaking about it, you know, way more outspoken than they usually are about any of these other issues that happen. So a lot of them are waking up to it, and you know, everyone's not as knowledgeable as some of the guys that are in the chat, you know, because they definitely know a lot more about these social issues than a lot of us younger guys do, and that's perfectly fine. You know, I don't have a problem sitting and reading the chat and learning from all of y'all, but you know, I feel like they definitely have spoken about it, and you know, it's a good thing to see. But at the same time, like I was thinking about eventually going down and protesting, but you know, the way that my folks are, they might not allow it. So, but hey, it is what it is.
So what happens, right? The protests, maybe some what's the term? What's the term that they're saying not to use because the CIA created a term? Outside agitators arrive. Things get a little hectic. It gets a little wild. It gets a little crazy. Is that something that you want to be caught up in?
I mean, that just kind of comes with it, doesn't it? I mean, it is what it is. You know, I just don't want to sit in my phone and type and speak about an issue and not, you know, be out there on the front lines, you know, fighting for the same cause that and fighting for the same issue that affects me directly, because, that could have, instead of, I forgot the name of the man that was out for a jog that just happened a few weeks ago and got killed by those white folks, that could have been me. That could have been you. I know that you like to go out and do your thing or whatever, so, that could have been any of us, and, it kind of hits home. So,
no, and it definitely does, but it wouldn't have been you, Kenneth, because you don't run. But all bad jokes to the side. But no, definitely, I definitely understand what you're saying, and that's why I say, as a youth in this age, things can be pretty fearful, especially having to try to decipher, reality from what's being fear mongering on the internet, from the actions of people who are maybe not deciphering the messages that are being put in front of them as well, and they're kind of responding crazy. So, just hold your head, man. And, just I think you're a sensible young man. I think if you listen and see some of the things people in the den talk and chat about, I think you'll be all right. I think you'll be a-okay. So, I think you're a smart kid, so I ain't got no worries for you.
Yeah, man. But actually, I don't really have anything much to say. I kind of just speak on how I feel.
Why you still on the line if you ain't got nothing else to say then? Why you still here? Huh? What's going on, Kenny? Nah, that's a bad bang.
All right, bro.
All right, Ken. Appreciate the call, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, man, it's El Lobo, Honcho.
El Lobo, what's the motherfucking deal, Mr. El Lobo? How you doing this evening, sir?
Well, it's been a pretty good day, but I've actually, Honcho, I probably said to my coworkers at work, I might have said 50 words to all of them combined. I was quiet the whole day, listening, looking in, all this kind of stuff, trying to study as best I could. And, I've been watching Den lately. I've been listening to everything lately. And I have finally, I've reached my breaking point because I rarely get emotional. I rarely raise my voice. I rarely get, as hyped up as I was. I was throwing iron in the weight room today because I said I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
But with all this being said, I believe that all those cops need to be charged with some sort of murder or, at the very, very least, criminal negligent homicide. I mean, in the court of law, the only thing is that can you actually prove that you had intent to kill? Well, I mean, that's kind of a vague term because does anybody really intend to kill? I mean, I could shoot somebody. Did I intend to kill them? No, I was trying to wound them, but oops, they died anyway. So, it doesn't work like that. But, and I don't really give a shit about the four of them, honestly. And, they were talking about should the man commit suicide. You know what? If he commits, I don't want him to commit suicide because you know what? That's getting off too easy. Number two, that won't rectify anything. And I really hope that man does not, for the sake of that whole city, that man does not commit suicide. And, the reason why I feel so bad about it, anybody in the law enforcement community, or, I'm eventually trying to get back into that field one day once I reach my bachelor's or eventually my master's. But you make everybody look like an asshole, as the Houston Union director came and said, basically, yes, you make everybody look like an asshole with that, because, yes, at this point, everybody sees it's an us versus them mentality. Right. They say that's the cop mentality. That's anybody who hates on cops or has this idea about cops, and everything. That's just the way it goes, and I don't care. But with all this being said now I've gotten that out of the way, this is complete bullshit. That's all I'm going to say about this. All these people going around in these freaking riots, and I'm not talking about just plain old protesters here that are actually kind of having a bonding moment with some of these cops, and I think that's great. You freaking going in, stealing shit out of stores, all of that is just freaking common house crap. That's it. And that's it, plain and simple. We all know it. And saying that it's a necessary evil is complete, utter horse shit. And we all know it. And because all it is somebody who was jealous of that somebody has this, they say, oh, well, I've been oppressed. I need to go and steal that. Oh, motherfucker, no, you don't. That's it. Is that you just want it. And I mean, I excuse my language, Honcho, but, I've held this in for a long time. And, it's, this reminds me of Crystal Knocked during what the Nazis said was a rectification because the Jews freaking had more than them, not realizing that they're the ones who put them in the city in the first place. And saying that all of this is justified. No, it's never justified. No matter what. It's never justified. The morality is the same. No, that man should not be dead right now. They're saying, well, he should have gotten arrested. Maybe he should have gotten arrested. But you know what? He should be alive right now. He had forged fucking checks. That's it. He should be out on bail right now. And that would go down as a misdemeanor at most. He might get 30 days in jail at most. That's it. And I said he should be freaking alive right now. All this language that Cornell West, Van Jones, any of these fuckheads on CNN are saying, oh, we need to tear down the system. We need to do this. We need to do that. Like they're some sort of victim when they're the ones in a suit and tie on freaking CNN. You know what? That's the same freaking language that Lenin, Trotsky, and Stalin all used to tear down the Tsars in Russia, and then they go ahead and made people's lives live in hell for freaking almost freaking 70 years. And then that's the same language that Castro used. Che Guevara, freaking as simple as gone back as Hugo freaking Chavez, and I'm freaking glad he's dead. It's just, that's all it is, Honcho, is that, you're angry about something, whether it's something in your personal life or all the years of oppression. And yes, I'm embarrassed about it, that the country I love, the one I served, the one that I intended to bleed for, was in that state, that it had the Jim Crow laws. This is not 1965. And anybody who says it is, you know what, you need a freaking reality check, because I don't see where the Jim Crow laws still stand. I don't see it. You know what, and if I'm that ignorant, well then, then I say, go ahead and educate me then. Because, I'm Hispanic too. I've been hated on by whites. I've been hated on by blacks. I'm in this in-between world, and honestly, I don't give a shit about my skin tone. But it's just that, you're using this as a justification for your own ideology. And that's it. That's it. I don't think Van Jones, Cornell West, Don Lemon, any of these mayors and governors in this city actually even give a fuck about George Floyd. They're just using this as an opportunity to spread their own propaganda and their own ideology. That's it. This has gone beyond George Floyd. Saying that this is a necessary evil, no, it's not a necessary evil. And them even saying that, they know it's complete bullshit. They're just using it as justification because they're hurting on the inside. And this is, it's like that, they're in this kind of primal mentality of, where they're almost blood drunk. I saw that plenty of times when I was either a correction officer or in the military. You just get into this state of, almost where you don't give a shit anymore about other people's pain because, you're just feeling your own and don't give a shit about anybody else because you're so freaking selfish. You're saying that, and everybody's trying to put people in groups. You know what? That's not what this country was based on. Yeah, we had slaveholders as founding fathers, and that fucking sucks. But you know what? We are all based on individuals. We made this country so we can be seen as individuals, not locked in this group or that group, rich, poor, yada, 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 freaking crying about victimhood all the fucking time. It's really sad to see that people are using this as an opportunity to spread ideology. And fucking Kaepernick, Jay-Z, Cardi B, who was that freaking white dude, Seth Rogen, any of these guys, you know what? You don't give a shit about them either because all you're doing is calling on people to do your fucking dirty work for you. You're going to still be in there in your safe little mansions and, out of the freaking spotlight saying, oh, yeah, go ahead. Y'all good go. I don't see any of y'all out there, risking your lives because damn motherfucker, you won't. All Kaepernick's going to do is fucking just take a knee again and then talk about Civil War this and Civil War that. Motherfucker, you ain't got the stomach for that kind of shit. It's just that, they're just using it as an opportunity to just get out their own ideology, Honcho. That's all I see is just that. I'm pretty much done with my rant, man, but the fact is that they don't see this as this whole Soviet-style revolution and them trying to say, oh, it's okay because that's what our founding fathers did. We're not living under a freaking king or a monarchy right now or because of our own taxes. That violence was going along then too. You know what? That's it. That's it. You know, and I'm glad, and I really, really hope to God that those cops get what's coming to them. I really, really do. And I mean, hell, I think they should get life in prison. I mean, if it was up to me, I would have a lot more of a liberal death penalty if it was up to me. It's just that, but you know what? There's nothing we can do about it. So, you know, all it is if you're breaking into the store, looting it, you just wanted to loot and steal. That's it. That's all you want. And I mean, but don't hide behind ideology. Don't hide behind, oh, this racist country, this racist country, that. You know what? You're just as racist, most likely. Racism can go on all different shapes and forms. I've seen a lot of Mexicans, you know, down here that are just as racist as some KKK wearing hood motherfuckers. And I've seen, you know, I mean, when I was dating a beautiful black woman when I was in the military, I got called wetback and stick and beaner by a bunch of black guys. I didn't give a shit. I laughed at them. It's just that it just hurts me, man, that the country I love, that it is in this state, and it didn't have to be. This should be a unifying moment for us, and it's not. You got Democrats and Republicans all agreeing on this, and yet it isn't good enough. And I mean, and I ask people, they say, oh, reparations. Reparations are good. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't want reparations. What you want is a check in the mail. That's it. What you're saying, well, they'll be charged. I'm like, what's next? I mean, you got to keep promising more and more and more, and you're never going to be happy. And that goes for anyone. You know, you're saying you want the socialist fucking utopia, and you know what? You know what? That won't make you happy either. You know, you're just looking for a reason to bitch and moan at this point. And, you know, I'm just saying, I'm sorry, man. Hey, I've taken up a lot of time, Honcho. I haven't even let you talk, man. It's just that this just really hurts me, man. It really does, you know, because I love this country with all my heart. You know, I love it. I love all the people. I love every race in it. You know, I really, at this point in my life, I really don't really even look at skin tone anymore. I see Americans first. And it's just, and I believe we have bigger issues to worry about right now than this sometimes, you know, because, you know, on the other side of our shores, there are other countries out there that are willing to take advantage of this. And that's the sad thing. You've got Iran and China, and I mean, they have no room to talk with their freaking ideological systems right now. Freaking saying, I can't breathe and everything. I'm like, motherfucker, y'all shut the hell up too. You know what? Because you know what? You're the Chinese Communist fucking party, and you know what? And you can't even freaking take control of Taiwan because you know the whole world would jump on your ass at that point. And Iran, you already know that freaking Israel will freaking nuke your ass if it wasn't for the United States holding back Israel from doing it. It's just that it's, you know, Iran and China, you know, and all these other countries freaking saying how evil we are and not forgetting, and everybody forgetting that we are actually, in terms of actually compared to most other major countries, we're actually the most justified that we in the world. They say we're not. I'm like, yes, we are. We have the most individual rights of any country in the world. The English barely even have a set of laws. They do it by interpretation from the head. At least we have a written down Bill of Rights that can never be taken away. And that's what the government was made to, was protect your rights, which is what the cops did not do to George Floyd. I'm sorry, man. It just, you know, I mean, I'm really not sorry. It's just that I've just been holding this in for weeks, man, now. It's ever since the unfortunate killing of the black jogger. I forgot his name off the top of my head, though.
Was it Ahmaud Arbery?
Yes, sir.
Well,
And,
this is why
they
the being exists, man, so you can have a place to, you know, get those kind of things off your chest. So, you know, definitely appreciate you for utilizing it.
You know, yes, and I know Kenneth Cologne does not agree with me, but you know what? He knows it's true, too. He's saying it's that they're evil. No, he knows that's bullshit, too. He knows it. I know it. Everyone else knows it. It's just that only one of us right now is admitting it. He's saying that discrimination, I've been freaking discriminated all my life, too. Who the fuck cares? Yeah. So it's just, I've just been holding that in for way too long now, Honcho. So I pretty much got that out of my system now. And, you know, I rarely get emotional like that. I rarely let cuss words like that fly. It's just that, you know, I've just never been as outraged as I am, you know, with the country that I love. in a really long time, because I was a little kid when they did the Rodney King murder, so I really didn't know much about it. But this is something different though.
Okay.
And that's go ahead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that very similar to the Rodney King situation. I think that that visual and how long it played out, and the fact that that you just got, I guess, bystander just so brazen and so open. I think that's kind of it does seem very similar. But I just think that there's a few other little elements in this situation that does make it different. And how much of this is genuine, and how much of this is people who just gonna fuck some shit up. Young teens who are bored, have been locked up for so long, and just getting out to go do some shit, to let off a bunch of steam. So it's a lot of different things with this one, but they're definitely very similar in the reaction that came from around the country.
Yeah, and by the way, yes, I accidentally said Rodney King was murdered. Yeah, I forgot. Yes, he was not murdered. He was just beaten to hell by billy clubs. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry to interrupt you, man.
Yeah, okay. We went a little past the 10-minute rule here, but anything else? Maybe when the calls get passionate, I can't help but let them go. And I think this is a first for Mr. El Lobo. Because Mr. El Lobo's always cool, calm, collected. And I'm not saying that he wasn't this evening, but it was good to see some of the passion. Sometimes those most genuine calls. You love those.
But I gotta ask you, man, did I just pull a wink? I was like, something just hit me. I'm like, is this what Wink feels all the time when the Bill O'Brien?
That might be the case. That might be what it is, man. Yeah, you can't blame him.
Well, because I don't give it. Because football, and especially a dumbass like Bill O'Brien, really ain't gonna get my blood pressure up. But when it comes to like shit like this, political ideology, people talking about socialism, this and race this, and using all this, using a tragic situation, using this for ideologies. That's the kind of shit that pisses me off, and especially in the field, in psychology that I want to do. I just go straight to the core, man. But hey, man, I'm gonna hang up, man. I'm sorry for taking up too much of your time, but hey, I appreciate you ranting, and I hope you agreed with some of it. If you didn't, well, I appreciate you letting me whine, man.
It's all good.
Because, and I call it whining because, a great president named Theodore Roosevelt once said that complaining about a problem, whether illegitimate or legitimate, and doing nothing about it is just called whining. And I see a lot of that, including myself. But there's nothing I can do.
Okay. Well,
I'm not a politician. I'm not a cop.
Well, like I said, I think this one's in the hands of the people. So we'll see what happens. But, man, Mr. El Lobo, I definitely appreciate your call, man.
All right, good night, man.
You have a good evening. Shout out to Mr. El Lobo. That was a great call. And it's good to see the passion. You love it. It's good to know that people are passionate about these things. That's why we have to have these conversations. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Honcho.
Yes.
Honcho.
Yes. Who we got calling in?
I got a little. Bilderberg boy.
Bilderberg. What's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind this evening, man?
Huh?
I said, what's on your mind this evening, man?
Well, I just want to tell everybody, I'm going to drop some information and some knowledge on y'all.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people are really confused about what's going on out here.
Mm.
What you're seeing is basically a psyop.
Mm.
Okay? Never let a crisis go to waste.
Yeah.
Okay? The COVID-19 narrative has subsided. You probably won't hear too much about it anymore. This is more about what Trump got going on with the deep state than anything. If you actually follow the Q post, this is out of their playbook. This is something that they've been wanting. This is like the last bullet in the barrel. You know what I'm saying? This is it. You don't really have anything else. Russiagate failed for 2-3 years. Then they tried to impeach him. Impeachment failed. Then they moved to COVID-19. It's a lot of dark forces going on in the background that a lot of people are not aware of. See, when I talk about the so-called black man, it's not to denigrate the so-called white man or the so-called white Caucasian. We all are supposed to be brothers and sisters in knowledge. Okay? The problem is we got a lot of simps amongst us on both sides. Okay? There are this war is more spiritual than it has anything to do with race. And the liberals are like, this is why I rail against them, because they're like they base their methodology is based on what they call humanism, or what you would know as atheism. That's why if you look at studies, they're actually more depressed than the person that has more physically conservative views. Okay? And that's throughout the world. That's not just in America. That's in England, Britain, London. And the liberal, this is why the so-called white liberal hates the so-called white Caucasian so much, and he puts the so-called black man in the middle of that fight to be a foot soldier. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not happy with themselves. If you look at all of these areas that's burning down, what is this? Liberalism, overreaction. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that, listen, the brother lost his life. People get killed by police. In order to get rid of the police department, you're going to have to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Because that's who they work for. They're basically ransom collectors. This is why they give you summonses and tickets and lock your ass up. So there's a war going on, and this is the last. I don't know how long this shit could last. I mean, think about it. They wanted us to stay in the house until November. They wanted mail-in voting. Mail-in voting ain't going through. So now they're going to keep you in the house by fear of violence. So, you know, it's up for us to wake up. It's time for us to wake up and really, you know what I'm saying, recognize what's going on out here. This is a psyop, man. So, I have a cousin. He was in Desert Storm. He called me the other night. He says a lot of stuff that he's seeing in the streets of America, these are the psyops that he used to pull over there.
So, do you think it gets worse before it gets better?
Yes, it's going to get worse.
Okay.
You gotta understand, people are expendable in the eyes of the elite. Now, what I call the elite is the night. You ever heard of the Knights of the Round Table?
Yeah.
Okay. The Rothschilds, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers. What they do to control me and you as so-called black men is they have a fraternity called the Grand Boule, which is comprised of LeBron James, Jamie Foxx, Puff Daddy, T.I., a whole bunch of other people. It was actually started in 1904. Okay, you guys can go look this up. This is basically the intermediary between the actual people who actually run the world. You know, they want to see the world burn because the system is coming down. The system is coming down. They want to see the world burn. So they're going to do things like this to get it emotional, because they know when people are emotional, they're unbalanced. They can't really think. They can't figure shit out. There was a lot of things I had questions about with this guy, you know, with this whole situation of how it was rolled out. You know, how they picked this man up on and put him on a cot. They didn't even check his pulse, see if he was breathing or nothing. They just got the hell up out of there. That shit don't look fishy to everybody. You know? Plus, look at the uniforms that they picked them up in. Those look like EMS uniforms. They're brown. They look like UPS uniforms almost. Okay. So we gotta start asking ourselves questions, man, because like I said, they believe we all are expendable. In order to maintain their power, they'll burn this bitch down. And that's just keeping it real.
I mean, I definitely think there are some very questionable activities going on behind the scene. I'm definitely not that informed, but it's definitely something to look into. Okay.
Well, if you know anything, Keith Ellison, who is the district attorney for Minnesota, He's an Antifa member.
Hmm.
They got pictures of him holding the book.
Word.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. I know who all the players are. You know, I try to just talk to people because I understand that a lot of this information is on another level. Like it's, you know what I'm saying, unless you actually have studied. I've been, if you want to say politically awoke, I'll say politically because this is when I understood what the factions were. It's not Democrat or Republican. It's more conservative or liberal. Okay. I would say for about more than 10 years. But I really started getting into what these people are actually into. You know, as far as the sex trafficking rings, the devil worshiping, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, man. They into some heavy shit. Why do you think there's so many kids that disappear throughout the world? Just in this country alone, what is it, like 8 million a year? Is it somewhere around there? I know it's in the millions. I can't remember the exact number.
I didn't realize it was that many.
And they never thought Hillary Clinton was going to lose, man. They never thought she was going to lose. This is why they were saying it's a 95% chance that she's going to win. They never thought she was going to lose. And now that she's lost, you know, this is what you've been seeing for the last 3 or 4 years with the stuff they've been doing to Trump. This is a way of keeping him off balance. You know what I'm saying? And you know, not clogging up the air. They have to clog up the news cycle. Okay? They have to clog. The whole COVID-19 thing was all over the news until this situation happened.
Right.
They don't even talk about it no more. If it's anything, you know what I'm saying, it's something very minute. It's not anything big. So what you're seeing is what Trump calls the deep state, which is you know, I don't know if anybody knows anything about Masons or the Masonic order, but the world is made up of Masonic groups. Even the police are a fraternal order. When you join the police, you join a fraternal order. So a lot of us got to be, you know, just got to share information, you know, and stay vigilant, man, and just pay attention to what's going on because, like I said, this is a spiritual war. And a lot of people got to get right with the Most High if they want to survive it.
I mean, it's a real interesting discussion that has been going on in the Discord. I don't know if you fuck with it or not, but if you ever do, man, I definitely would like to hear your thoughts because there was I don't want to get into it because I'll probably misrepresent all of it, but
Okay.
it was kind of along some of the lines you were speaking. I'm gonna shoot you I'll shoot you a kite or something, email or something, and then just get your thoughts on something. It just because when you said that, it made me think about something.
Yeah, man, I got a lot of information that, you know, that I told you I was going to send to you because this shit, the rabbit hole is very deep, man. It's very deep. But you actually find, when you pull back the curtain, you find out who's really controlling things. There was a video today. See, I watch videos outside of the country also. There's no crest on one of the gates of the Buckingham Palace. And all of the windows are boarded up. The last time that the people who follow the Pope, which is the fake Pope, because if you know anything about the Jesuit Society, you know that there are actually more popes than that. They haven't seen a Pope in a long time. The last time they seen a Pope, he was a hologram.
A hologram.
He hologrammed in. Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff going on, man. These celebrities that everybody be idol worshiping and these athletes, man, you don't know like the stuff that the NBA got going on with China and Nike or Nikkei. Okay. You know, these people are globalists, man. They're globalists. Globalism is the destruction of the sovereign state. Okay, that's what it is. Globalism is a destruction of the sovereignty. They want to get rid of your sovereignty. Okay, we are not what you would call free. If you are mentally free, you're free. Because you're not, you don't get caught up. A lot of my brothers, they get upset with me because they feel like I don't care enough. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I view things from a different standpoint than they actually do. I view things from an emotional standpoint because I understand that atrocities happen all over the world. Okay? And they happen for a reason. You cannot get all judgmental. It's so funny that they're using this to attack conservative whites, but it's the liberal whites handing out bricks and spraying up your buildings outside. I'm confused. You're using this to attack somebody else, but it's actually those people who are the ones that you want to get a hug from. Those are the ones who are actually destroying your communities. So we gotta be wiser, man, and really pay attention to the bullshit on the news, because the news is full of shit. Always has been. They either don't tell you something or they cover stuff up. It's either or.
I definitely agree with that 100%. Did you see the videos that float around where you can take a newscast from the same day and you can check multiple channels across the country, and you'll see that they're reiterating a lot of the same lines. I mean, word for word, verbatim, telling the same stories and things of that nature.
I used to work for one of the largest newspapers in New Jersey. Okay, the newspaper get what journalists get upstairs is what they call an AP feed. If you know anything about AP, that's the AP News. Okay, they basically are told what to put in the paper. It has to go through an editorial board. It has to cover those keynotes. So basically, there's really no journalism unless it's independent journalism. But if you're looking for corporate journalism, okay, there's a reason that 6 corporations own 95% of the media in the world. Okay, it's a reason why when you go to the airport or to the hospital, CNN is playing on the television and not AON or anybody else. And some of these, believe it or not, some of these people on YouTube have bigger followings than people in the mainstream media. This is why they're censoring YouTube. Because people are putting out real information. And you don't really think that the mainstream media got Trump elected.
No.
It was alternative media, people with a different opinion about what they were saying. Media, the liberal media is about indoctrination. I told you, it begins in school, but it doesn't stop there. They feed me and you as black men, so-called black men. They feed us what they call slavery programming. Everybody was a slave. Everybody black was a slave. Everybody black wasn't a slave. You had black slave owners who owned white slaves at one point in history.
Yep.
So I get, when people try to hit me with the slavery programming, I just, get out the way, because I, you know what I'm saying? Like 9 times out of 10, they don't even know what they're talking about.
I agree. You kind of got to let go of that whole thing. It did occur. It kind of is what it is, but I don't think you can use that to justify you not advancing now. And I think the biggest disrespect that you can do is to not advance.
We're not I. Yeah, I see people with signs talking about we're not our ancestors. Well, guess what? They ain't their ancestors either. So what are you talking about? You can't have it one way. And it's the younger. This is why they removed the father out of the black household, because the younger generation is very easy to manipulate. Who do Obama talk to? He talks to the younger generation. Yeah. He's trying to indoctrinate them. Okay, when that situation happened in Florida with the shooting at the school, and he seen that little stupid looking face kid. David Hogg stand up. What did Obama say on Twitter? We've been waiting for you. Word. And that's the kid. That's the kid that'll call you a nigga quicker than anybody. He got it all written in his face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll definitely flip it on you quick. Kid definitely he waiting for a reason.
Yeah. And then Obama talk about we've been waiting for you. What is it? What president? If you're what president have you known come from behind the scenes to try to speak to the youth on an indoctrination level, not on a we're doing good as a society level? It's more about he's trying to create an army, and he has to a certain degree because he got a lot of our people like really messed up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, brother, some real shit. A lot of you are gonna find out Michelle Obama got a bigger penis than you, and it's gonna really piss you off.
It's terrible. It's a terrible situation.
You don't think? Listen, you don't think that he was pandering to gay and transsexuals, and not that I have anything against those people, but a lot of his policies were directed in that area.
Correct.
Where did Barack Obama come from? Who funded him to go to school? A lot of people don't know this. If you look up who funded him to go to school, it's Bill Ayers. Bill Ayers is a communist. Okay, there's allegedly what's the lady name that got off Jesse Smollett down there in Chicago?
Kim Fox.
Kim Fox's cousins with Kamala Harris. She's also related to Barack Obama. So he was a psyop too, but it didn't work because he's an idiot. So they've been pushing this stuff for a long time, man. For a long time. They are really bad.
So yeah, it seems like there's a lot of layers to it, man. Like a lot going on. But here's the deal. Like I said, I'm gonna cut you short here. You know what I'm saying? Because we were supposed to have a little 10-minute rule on. But you were saying some very interesting stuff, and it definitely caught my attention. It seemed like some folks in the chat were definitely reacting to it. But man, like I said, we definitely going. There's a couple of things I wrote down that you mentioned that we may have to spend a night diving deeper into that topic because some very interesting things that you presented.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna share some stuff with you, and we can go over it on the show. You know what I'm saying? And any questions that the chat room gotta ask, I can answer them for you, man. I can answer them for you. I'm a very intelligent brother. I get upset sometimes because I see a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But I calm down, and I mean, I spend my days. I don't watch a lot of television. I do watch sports because I'm from that era. I'm from the Jordan era. So I do watch basketball. I am a boxing fan. I watch football, but even that stuff is programming. Okay, so you just got to be vigilant, man. You got to watch. A lot of stuff is programming, man. But I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I know you got other callers, man.
Okay, all right. Well, Mr. Bilderberg, man, I appreciate it, and thank you, sir, for calling in this evening.
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. So definitely lace us up with some good game there. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's up? If he won't pass.
Okay, he won't pass. What's the motherfucking deal? What's on your mind, Mr. He won't pass?
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how to feel about the riots because, like, on one hand, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't even say it's really getting the point across because it's really just making us look worse in the eyes of people we already look bad with. But, and then on the other hand, they're trying to get a message across, and I guess it's working to an extent because it's bringing attention to the situation. And they got the person who did it in prison. But I don't know, I feel like it's still not the way to go about it.
Okay. So, if you could think of a better way to do it, what would you suggest?
Honestly, I really don't know because like all the peaceful protests and all that stuff, people been doing that for like a long time and it hasn't worked. So I really don't know, to be honest. I feel like it's a lose-lose.
So has it worked or has it not worked? Because or maybe is progress slow and maybe we want change now. Because if you look at all those protests, sit-ins, boycotts, walkouts, whatever you want to call it. It just seemed like it took a lot of work, and some people lost their lives, some people were seriously injured, and we might not have saw the results instantly. And I think there's still a ways to go. But is that maybe that's just what it is? Is it that progress is slow? Maybe so much as that peaceful protesting doesn't work. Would you think that might be a thing?
Yeah, I would say that the peaceful protests definitely take way more time, and people seem I think the reason why it's happening like it is now is obviously because people have been in their homes like this whole time with the whole Corona thing, so there's already people aren't edge from that. And then I think Ahmaud Arbery, the guy, that happened like a couple weeks ago, and this happened. So these two situations really just boiled over into what it is now, I feel like.
Okay, and I definitely agree. I think, like I say, it's the timing. It's been so much, especially this entire year. It's been something. It seems like every month, something new. Fortunately, I haven't had to deal with the murder hornets yet, but yeah, I think that's what it was. You've been telling people, depending on how long or where you're at, 6, 8 weeks, however long that you're telling people to stay in their homes, and as soon as you start kind of saying, all right, I guess we can let you guys back out, you have an incident like this, and then people have all this pent up energy or rage or confusion. They've lost jobs, struggling, whatever's going on, money's tight, and some people may have seen it as like, fuck it, my money's fucked up, I lost my job, I ain't got to, this is going to be a blessing, I'm going to take advantage of it. But do you think that more people are looking at it as a personal gain, or really there to try to seek something bigger than themselves?
People who are actually trying to do it.
I couldn't kind of hear you. Kind of sounded a little distant there. I couldn't hear you. You still there? It's kind of cutting. I can't really hear anything you're saying. If you're still there, I can barely hear bits and pieces of something.
All right, am I back?
Yeah, okay, good to go. There we go. All right. Yeah, so do you think more people are in there for selfish reasons, personal gain to see what they can, or do you think more people are really going to these protests with good intentions for George Floyd?
I don't. I mean, I feel like I think there's a lot of people that are really going there for good intentions. But I feel like it's only like the dumb people who are doing stuff like spitting at the police and burning buildings and all that stuff are the ones getting shown. But like the people who are actually trying to do it and like do it the right way aren't being shown.
Okay. Do you think that the media is trying to manipulate this to make it look that way?
For sure. Okay. I mean, they manipulate like almost everything to make it seem like that, and I feel like the whole like all the stories of police brutality, I really feel like they get brought to the front line to upset Black people as a whole. I feel like it's always been like trying to manipulate the emotions of us, because once you do that, I mean, stuff happens.
Okay. All right. So, do you think it gets better or worse from here?
Honestly, I don't. I feel like it's probably gonna get worse.
Okay.
I don't know at this point, because I mean, you definitely can't just go back to normal after all this stuff that happened. So it's gonna be changed one direction or the other. I feel like we aren't helping. I don't feel like the viewpoint of Black people as a whole is really getting help from this, because all these people, they're seeing all these all the burning buildings and people just straight up going and looting stores and hitting on cops and all that stuff. I mean, and then you got the people who are like they're just basically saying, "Oh, you're with us or you're against us." Like all the famous rappers and athletes and all those people that are on that now. So it's gonna be a huge divide.
Mhm.
I feel like.
I agree. And I think that again, it's such a sketchy thing. I have all the topics actually done for the whole week, and we're going to kind of dive deeper into some of these elements. So I won't harp on it, but again, I think the with us or against us mentality. Um, that's part of the problem that we've been having problems prior to Floyd. Again, this is not to blame black people for every situation, but again, there's certain situations where niggas don't make it easy. Certain situations where the cops are definitely in the wrong. You just got to kind of call each one like you see them. But my thing is simply this, it's like, will all of this end up being beneficial, or will all of this have been for naught? And Floyd goes forgotten, the cop goes unpunished, all these stores, all these people, these small businesses, who get fucked over, and people say, oh, insurance covers it. Don't cover everything. Some items are unique, some things you can't make up. And, then we just try to go on about our way. Or, is there going to be real progress from it? So that's what that's kind of where I'm at.
I don't think there's any way that the cops can go unpunished, because I feel like if that happens, there's definitely going to be some type of race war going on. If somehow the cops get out of this.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think it'll be a bad reaction if it does happen. But again, they've been handling it their way now. What's to stop them from escalating it up again? So I don't know. It's very interesting times right now. We thought Corona times were interesting. It's gotten even more interesting that quickly.
Yeah, 2020 been a real wild year. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely.
Been a real interesting 6 months.
I want to know. I'm ready to see what the second half of the year.
I don't know if this the easy part of the year. Yikes. I don't know about the second half.
Yeah, it's like a video game. In December, it's gonna be a shit show. You got to beat December to make it or you got to beat November to make it to the final boss. December, you make it through December, you beat the game. 2021 will be a great year for everybody. You just got to be able to survive 2020 first. If you make it through, it's gonna be good for you.
I don't know. We made it through like April, and May was chilling for the most part, and then like at the end of the May, it just ran back up.
Oh yeah, it got back wild. Yeah, May was the confusion part, because May was, are we opening stuff back up? You had kind of that little battle between people gonna get sick, people ain't gonna get sick. The economy opening back up or keeping shut down. So yeah, it's a whole lot of nonsense been going on, man.
They didn't throw the whole Corona thing away now. Basically, with all these people going out with the virus. I mean, if we getting it, they getting it for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So. Again, like I said, there's some very smart people that get paid a whole lot of money to understand human behavior. And, whatever's going on, whatever agenda or plan has been put in place to, get people to respond in a particular method has absolutely been working. And,
For sure.
Okay. Well, so you want to pass anything else that's on your mind there, sir?
Well, it's tough being a Houston fan. I ain't got to call into the talk yet, but it's real tough being a Houston fan.
Oh man,
yikes!
Who you telling?
At least we got the sun. That's what's keeping the hope alive.
Yeah, very very little hope, but yes, it's keeping it alive. It's just
man, Deshaun got to stay 2020.
Man, it's gonna demand. I don't even say nothing about. I'm not even gonna put Deshaun and 2020 together right now. We'll talk about it another time, because it is all the bad shit that's been associated with 2020. We gonna leave it be.
Yeah, it's been rough, especially for Houston fans too. It's a lot of stuff getting ramped on there.
Oh yeah, it's been a shitty.
Oh, you see Skinny Harden? That's wild. Man dropped like a hot 20 pounds.
No, yeah, that's what I say. It's gonna be. I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow in the on SSTV. We're gonna definitely get into the potential of Slim Harden, because I think
that man look like he ain't aged like a good 3 weeks.
That man out there putting in work, but that's a BET. Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. All right, well, anything else with the riots or the protests or anything related to that that's on your mind there, Mr. You want to pass?
Nah, I'm good. We need to get my boy Prepaid on the line though.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully I'm next. I definitely want to hear what Mr. Prepaid has to say. But nonetheless, I do appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts with us this afternoon, sir. Or evening.
All right. No problem.
Alrighty, man. I appreciate the call.
All right.
I'm talking about some afternoons, late as shit. I'm talking about. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, Honcho, it's Real Talk.
Real Talk, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind this evening, Mr. Real Talk, sir?
It's the same thing that's on everybody's mind.
Okay. So, have your thoughts or feelings changed at all in relation to any part of what's been going on, the past week in relation to the Floyd George protests, some of them that have sparked in a riot, some of them have been questionable public response. I mean, just anything related to it. What are your thoughts on what's been going on?
Besides the fact, I will always admit the riots and the lootings are wrong. I will always tell everyone, I 100% understand the riots and lootings are wrong. But at the same time, like I always tell everyone, our country only responds to violence.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but it's the only way anything ever happens in our country. And people are like, well, Martin Luther King was violent. No. But what he did know is if they marched down the street, the cops were going to get into a fight with them. There was going to be violence. They didn't start it, but they knew there would be violence.
So, how much more violence is it going to take to get some change in America?
That I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. I can tell you that I 100% believe that these riots and these loots and this protest is over as of right now. And I'll tell you why. Because it's now Monday and everyone's going back to work. It was the weekend. Let's be honest, it was the weekend. And like you said, everyone was locked up and then they got free.
But do you think the people out there looting and going crazy, running these places, do you think they're gainfully employed? Do you think that they're going to stop, running into these locations?
A lot of them. I 100% believe a lot of them.
Okay.
And also, so I'm in Austin. Austin today is technically completely 100% open. Everything's back up and running. As of today, everything's going 100%.
Okay. That's wild.
Now, will I say that this is probably going to happen again and we're going to be right back at this in another few months? Yes. Like I said, it's a vicious cycle that we're not paying attention to. Yes, I do know that some cities are still rioting. But notice that the rioting in them cities isn't being televised. Notice the rioting is actually dying down in a lot of cities. Notice the looting is dying down in a lot of cities. I'm pretty sure you've noticed that one too.
Yeah, I hadn't seen as much today. I mean, I saw, like I said, I was watching some live protests and things, and
over the weekend.
Yeah,
but now it's Monday.
Yeah, it was crazy, and then now it's kind of like Not as bad. Like I said, again, I didn't watch anything this evening. It seems like things seem to pick up when it gets dark. But like I said, I didn't really see anything this evening.
Which, okay, if it picks up when it gets dark, who 90% of the population of America works, 9 to 5 jobs. So you're not at work, so you're off work.
So I think that is what is causing people to act up is the free time on their hands.
Yep. They had a bunch of free time. They got a bunch of being locked up. Then bad shit happened. It's not the curfews. There wasn't curfews at 12 o'clock this morning. Kenneth, just stop. Just stop. And trust me, if you're riding, you don't care about curfews. I'm like, I'm going to break into this liquor store and steal a bunch of liquor, but I'm going to care about this curfew that they're implementing now. No. Don't no.
Well, I agree. And that's the thing. Like I say, because I've seen various people say various things, and I want y'all to see this as I put this kind of. Let me slide this in the background like so, make it look better. But right there, cover my face. This is the type of shit that's going on. I want y'all to watch that video. But yeah, you got people I think who are bored again. Hey, it's been a very dull few months. If I am back at work, but then hey, you know what? When I get off, I'm gonna go have me some fun. Maybe I can come up because again, you see people out there moving in an organized fashion with the looting. Some people I think are genuine. Hey, this is a historic moment in American history. I want to be a part of it. I want to know when I look back on history. I want to feel like I was on the right side of history. I can go and tell my kids I was there. I can, exactly whatever. So I think you have different intentions.
Here's the bad thing about history, and history is only written by the victor.
Correct.
Doesn't matter what the history was. Only the victor decides what was the right side of history.
That's true.
Because if we want to go back to the revolution, the Boston Tea Party, all this other stuff that we did, if we had lost the Revolutionary War, do you really think it would be talked about in a good tone, or would we have been a bunch of rioting bastards just destroying property?
Oh yeah, you definitely would have been, looked at as the bad guy. You definitely get looked at as, the more negative side.
So, again, I don't agree with the riots. I don't agree with the looting. But if you notice something, and this is the reason why I say that we only respond to violence. The riots and looting started, right? Immediately, that cop was arrested. Immediately, you were seeing videos of cops going to the protest and kneeling. Tell me, before this one right here, before what was going on this weekend, did you ever see that before?
Never. I've never seen it in my life, so it blows my mind.
Did you ever see a cop walk in the middle of protest and start, I'm pretty sure you've seen the Houston thing, of saying, I'm like you, I'm with you, I back you.
No, I've never
before this.
Never.
You've seen the protests, but the cops are always just standing there. But now that they started rioting and actually started destroying stuff, now the cops want to, we actually believe that you're right. Why now? Why did we have to go to violence before you start saying, yeah, we actually support you?
But do you think that with all of this negative action, all of this media presence over the last few days, the way people are responding, and we can talk about, messages. We've been talking about all. I mean, just everything. It's been a lot of negative push on the police. So, do you think, as a collective, we can talk about bad apples, we can talk about all those other things, but as a collective, do you think that they double down or they reflect on their behavior and maybe try to implement some changes?
Here's one for you, and this should tell you. Yeah, there's a video, and if you haven't seen it, I'll find it and send it to you on Discord. Of a cop talking to a bunch of protesters, and there was a person that got on their hands and knees behind him, put their hands up. The cop turned around and tossed this person out of his way, and then this female. I'll make.
So the reason why I'm hesitating here and I'm not saying anything is I swear to God I did nothing. I didn't have my hand on the mouse or anything. This is the second time, I think, in the last 2 times that has happened to Mr. Realty. And I apologize. Call him and put you on hold for just a second and we will continue this call. But I apologize because it's very bad optics, and that's why I'm just like, really, wow, again, it happens again. So, Mr. Realty, I apologize for that. Feel free to call back in and we will continue the conversation. Trill, what the hell you out here randomly timing people? What's going on? Nothing. Oh my God! It looks very bad. It looks like I did that, and that's what I'm saying. I promise I did nothing. I wouldn't even touch. I actually had my fucking pen in my hand, and it just looks like I did something. So carry on, my wayward son. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
What's good, Honcho?
Mr. Dakota, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Hey, man. Crazy time going on right now, man. Crazy.
Yes, very wild. We're in a very peculiar situation in this country. Something I don't think we've experienced in quite some time.
Man. I don't know what to make of it. I have never witnessed this. I was alive I was very young, but I was alive for the Watts riots, man. And this is something new. Like, I haven't seen nothing like this. It's new to me. I can't say it's new in history, but it's new to me. So, whether people wanna get all up in arms about the looting and whatever, it still doesn't take away from the fact of the matter is it's keeping people focused on one thing, and that's police brutality. And I think that's the whole overall message now, because it's bigger than George Floyd. At least that's what it looked like to me. And I think what happened was they just threw too much at the public too fast. In the case of Ahmaud Arbery, and then you got George Floyd, then you had Breonna Taylor, I think they just threw too much at the people. Like, you never really see
Rio equals cut off mid-call.
Incidences where black people would get off this fast. Like, you never really, they spaced it out between a couple months. This shit was like literally back to back to back. And then to add insult to injury, you had the white lady that tried to mobilize the police force on a black man, whether he was antagonizing her or not. What screwed her was the fact that she said, "I'm going to tell the cops there's a black man threatening me." So I think that really let people know that there's a clear divide in the country. We don't know where it is, but it needs to stop. And whether it doesn't stop or whether it does, I think these dudes are gonna get fucked. Like these cops, I think they have to make an example out of these people, man. There ain't no other way around it. Because if you let these dudes walk, you think what we experiencing now is bad, and it's fucked up because this is a scary fucking time. Like you don't know how this shit gonna play out. Most of the time, you knew, okay, man, niggas gonna be mad for a couple days. Ain't no real shit gonna pop off, but no, shit is popping off in the streets. Whether who gives a fuck who started the looting, the vandalism, shit is happening. I watched a man get his ass beat for hopping out the car shooting bow and arrows at motherfuckers. I watched another idiot ass nigga steal a fucking horse.
Hey, that shit was
Nigga
live.
riding down the street.
It was stupid, but it was live. I mean, if you gonna do some dumb shit, at least be dumb and entertaining, not just dumb and completely idiotic. Like, if you gonna cause a ruckus, like, could you imagine when motherfuckers started to see this nigga come flying down the street, nigga cheering this nigga on and shit? It was stupid as shit. But if you gonna go out like a G. I saw one though. Somebody attacked the motherfucking police horse. I was actually mad about that. Look, the horse can't help that he 12. You know what I'm saying? He's just doing his job, man. You ain't got to protect the horse. Leave the horse out this. Leave the animals out of this shit. But,
somebody hit the horse with a brick.
Man, fuck that horse up. Like, knock the little chunk out the horse's snout and shit.
But it's fucked up, man. It really is. And it took this to bring attention to the shit that, you know, black people have been trying to say. You know, they did the marching, they did the we shall overcome, they did the, you know, Capitol Hill, let's go talk to our senators and shit like that. And they because I actually called them pussy. I don't know if you remember that call. I was mad. Like, I thought Black America was pussy.
Yeah.
But I'm being showed maybe it's more than this. Maybe it's more to the revolution. I'm just fucking with you, but
So,
I don't know, man.
Will the revolution be televised?
I hope so. It look like it's getting Instagram, IG, and motherfucking Snapchat. Shout out to my nigga Dre. He said that shit, but not on a more serious note though. Like, it's fucked up that it had to come to people tearing up the fucking cities across the nation to say, hey, look, we have to do something. If this is gonna lead to two things in my opinion, either criminal justice reform or complete fucking anarchy. And like I said, they gon' have to make an example out of these dudes, and it's fucked up because these dudes about to be like thrown up under the jailhouse because you can't let this slide. As a government, you cannot let this slide.
So what are your thoughts on the second autopsy coming back and stating something quite different than the original autopsy? And do you think the coroner is complicit?
And that's the thing. So the second autopsy, has it came back yet?
Yeah, it came back and it showed us asphyxiation.
It showed him dying of asphyxiation. So then that shines a light on city government corruption. Like they're just saying some shit just to pacify the people. Oh, he didn't really die from this. It was an underlying cause. It was this, and that. But now you know the family paid for a private autopsy, and it clearly shows this man dying because he was being choked to death, basically. Like you strangled this man. And whether you, like I said in the first time I called in about this shit, intent or not, you don't hold somebody in a chokehold for 6 minutes and don't expect no severe consequences. Like, I don't know whether he pissed you off at your other job. I don't know what it was. But to kneel on this man's neck is fucked up. Like, you had an intent on hurting this man. But as far as the riots go, shout out to Lobo. My G, I understand you upset, but you can't tell people how to react when they feel like their feelings are being trampled and stomped on. Do we think it's stupid? Yes, because most people ain't got the mental fortitude that you got, that I have, that Honcho has, that other callers have, that people in the den generally have. We have the mental fortitude to be like fuck it and move on, but society doesn't, especially with the way society is going now. With this, everybody is special shit. Everybody is nobody's really held accountable. So now society is looking at the fact of the matter is there are people being hurt and killed due to police officers' hands, and we need to do something about it. I seen a group of veterans saying that I didn't fight for this country, and these were like, you would think these dudes were fucking not neo-Nazis the way they look, but they had on their military jackets and shit, and he was like, I didn't fight for this country for my black brothers and sisters to be beat and killed on. And I thought that was like so dope because people see, like, whether the numbers support it or not, it's happening. Whether you want to say, oh, but it only happens this, and that, it's something that's happening that shouldn't happen. Feel me? So whether people wanna say we're being bitches about the whole situation, black people just need to tighten up their bootstraps or whatever. Like whatever that bullshit they like to say. It's something's happening. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know where it's going to end. But everything that has a beginning has an ending on some fucking Matrix type shit.
I was fucking around watching that shit the other day. It's one of my favorite movies. So you feel like there's a genuine change taking place?
Like I said, either something has to change, something has to give. You can't keep telling people that this isn't going on, and whether it's propaganda by fake news showing that this is happening, whether you look at the numbers and see that it doesn't happen as much as people think, but it still happens. I think something has to change. Then that's just me. I can't speak for nobody else. And to see the world, well, not the world, the nation united in something, whether it be ignorance and fucking violence, it shouldn't have had to come to this point. It shouldn't have had to get violent. It shouldn't have had to resort to burning down businesses and looting shit. And Target fucking put on their fucking Instagram that they will rebuild just so motherfuckers could burn it down again. Just to say we're standing with you.
They ain't tripping. They
you got cops. They gonna what?
They gonna eat well regardless. But my thought is this. But like, and I'm glad you're just about to say something about the cops. Like, you've been seeing a lot of cops that kind of appearing to show solidarity with the movement that's taking place. Do you ever recall in history seeing something like this before?
I have never seen something like this. Not in history, not ever. Like, you have cops turning in their shields. Flint, Michigan, the whole police force turned in their badges and went outside and knelt with the protesters. You had Houston police chiefs in the streets walking with black and brown people. You got police in Chicago, like just all over the nation, standing in solidarity. Like, there's clearly something going on. And if America don't listen, hey man, it might be a real live race war in this motherfucker. Whether you want to believe it or not, something's happening. You can call it a distraction, you can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it, but it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. I don't know. It's something. Something just ain't right. But yeah, something's going on, man. I don't know what it is, but it does feel different than others. I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing. I don't know what to call it, but it's very interesting. Some of the imagery that I've seen
And
coming
one
out of
more
this.
point before I go. They said black people are gonna be blamed for most of the vandalism and the looting and shit like that, which is true. But at this point, I don't really think they give a fuck.
Word.
Because if you look at what's happening, they are fucking people up, and it's not just black people; it's white people in the streets knocking niggas the fuck out. Like, I don't really think they give a fuck about who thinks they're stealing or what, because niggas is real life fighting in the street. Niggas is real life in this bitch like ain't no tomorrow, and that's the sad part. So these dudes can't walk, point blank period. And that's all I gotta say. I'm out.
All right, Dakota, man. Appreciate the call, man.
No problem.
All right, have a good one. Shout out to Mr. Dakota. What's the motherfucking deal? Who got called into the den this evening?
You got Ricky motherfucking D.
Ricky motherfucking D. What's the motherfucking deal, Ricky D? How are you doing this evening, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, man. You're doing good too. You got your show here. You got to wait about an hour to get to talk to you, though.
it can the line can get a little hot sometimes. So what are your thoughts, man? How are you feeling about what's going on in America right now?
Well, like thoughts on what's going on in America, man. It's just crazy. I mean, this couldn't have happened at a worse time, because I kind of feel like everybody's just looking for an excuse even to just get out their own damn house, you know, and then this comes on, and then everybody, everybody's out there. I mean, you got people who lost their damn minds while they were in their home. You know, people have been at home for 2 months straight, and then now they're out there, you know, and now they got all this aggression too, you know. I kind of feel like that. But as far as the rioting goes, man, I don't know. It's like you see both sides, but it kind of really struck me, man, because here in Austin is a very landmarkish, historical landmarkish type of place, and then especially when it has to do with some kind of art or some kind of anything, you know, and when I saw the Stevie Ray Vaughan statue spray painted with FTP across it,
man, I saw that too. I was very
I
not keen.
What's that?
Yeah, I saw that too. I wasn't too keen on that.
Yeah, to me, I think that's where I saw the ignorance in how to protest that came across. And the reason for that is because if you knew who Stevie Ray Vaughan was, you would not, as a born and raised Austinite, Stevie Ray Vaughan represented everything about what you want America to be, because Stevie Ray Vaughan used his talents to prove it to himself, because I mean, you have to remember, Stevie Ray Vaughan had his superiors with his music, you know, and his superiors were all black artists, and he had to show himself and prove himself to them too. But then he created the bridge that allowed Austin and Austin music to be kind of recognized, because then with his music and his talent, he united people. You know, people of all colors loved Stevie Ray Vaughan music, and to me that was like, seeing that was kind of like a it was an awakening, but it was also like a rude awakening too, and it was also like that was unnecessary. You know, those certain things are just unnecessary. That doesn't prove nothing. All it did was it destroyed the one thing that was awesome about going to downtown to, you know, take a walk or jog or whatever, because in that area where his statue is out there, a lot of people go jogging, people take their dogs out to play fetch, things like that here in Austin. And that to me was always like, what a good spot to put him in, because his statue at, because it was like, this is where everybody gets along. Now, if you go a little bit further north on there and you go over there to 6th Street, that's where that's where we got to start having the problems. But that section, that area, that park, I mean, every people of all colors come and go, you know, and just him being there, that was always kind of like a yeah, man, that's us. This is Austin. This is the real Austin. And you know, when I'm seeing, one thing about being a born and raised Austinite is you start to see the gentrification that has taken place in our urban areas, and especially like in East Austin and in South Side. You know, you're starting to see where land is being purchased, or actually taxes are being raised. Taxes are raised, people move out, they come and get the land, they turn it into something else. And especially in East Austin, they're buying homes, they buy the homes, they turn them into bars, make tons of money, you know, and people have to move out of their homes. So when I see this stuff going on, I'm thinking to myself, we're only falling into the exact trap that I think somebody wants us to follow. I feel like they're like, yeah, go ahead, loot all those stores that are in your communities. Go ahead and loot all of them.
It's a lot of raccoon in here.
We're going to establish our lifestyle there, not the lifestyle that your parents paid for 30 years to establish on their own. You know, so I see a lot of that happening too. And you know, because to me, I'm looking at the consequences of everything that's going on with the rioting, protesting. Man, I mean, we should be doing that. That's right. I you know, peacefully and tactfully, I should say, or tactically, you know, with a good tactic to it. You know, but the rioting, it to me, the way I look at it is, if my daughter worked at one of those Targets and something happened to her, I'm not gonna give a damn about what the hell happened and who did what. I'm gonna want answers for my daughter. You know. If my mother or father were inside these stores, or if they were just part of, you know, doing their normal thing and something happened to them, does that I don't know, does that defeat the purpose of what you're even protesting, or, you know, what you're writing against? I don't know. I you know, and I get it, man. People are angry. I'm angry. You know, seeing that video of that man with his knee on his on that guy on George Floyd's neck. You know, it and then for him to look up at the camera and smirk like, man, I got this. There's nothing going on. You know, almost as if he was waiting for him to die. Like, he was just looking at that. You know, I get it, man. But my thing is when you're doing all this unnecessary stuff, you have to think about the consequences of everything afterwards, because now, you know, the cost of things are going to come back, and it's going to come back on everybody. But not only that, though, say you're these people that are trying to get the current president and all of that, out of the offices. Well, you're not helping us by being in jail when that happens. When we need to vote, you're in jail. You're not helping us with that. That's not helping anything, because now what we needed you to really do, you're not able to do that, and it's funny because seeing the Stevie Ray Vaughan statue kind of made me look at all of that area there, because I'm like I said, born and raised Austin, and I'm from the South Side, so seeing South Side getting kind of the target in like the neighborhood that I live in, it's boarded up right now. And my wife at one of the stores that she works at, her managers are spending the night inside the store. I don't know why they're doing that. I think that's crazy, but they're spending the night inside the store to make sure and keep the store protected. And I'm thinking to myself, my wife's a manager there too. What if they're going to make her do that? These are unnecessary things, and she doesn't have to be exposed to that. She didn't, she didn't do anything to anybody. We go to work, we do our thing, man, and we pay our contributions to society, and are we there to the one thing that I did do yesterday, and is I intentionally took 2 big deep breaths, man. And I know that that's a small thing to do, but I did it because black, white, yellow, whatever, man, life is precious, man, and we're learning that in 2020. That's what I believe. I believe that we're learning that life is precious. Like for so long we've been focusing on so many other things like prestige and like prestige and just like levels of what life you're in. Like, are you rolling in the dough? Or are you still somebody trying to hustle? And, and everybody wants to say like all these positive vibes and this and that so they can get all the likes and whatnot. And we were focusing on that, but man, we weren't even just worried about being thankful for the fact that you get up in the morning and you're able to inhale and exhale. And that is, that's something that I think if we all did, and then live your life according to the fact that there's others that can't inhale or exhale, that was kind of my way of looking at that. And it's small gestures, man, small gestures to tell other people, man, like I'm a loving person, and I'll smile at you. What's wrong with, I can smile at somebody and change their life, and they can probably smile at me, change my life or my viewpoint on something like that. That's kind of how I'm looking at everything right now, man. And do I want to go out and protest and everything? Yes, I do, but I also have a responsibility to be safe for my children as well.
Correct.
In Austin, lots of innocent bystanders were getting pegged by some of these plastic bullets or whatever.
Yeah.
And getting seriously wounded. And yeah, man, I want to go out there and I want to pay my contribution to everything too, but I'm not going to be any good to me or my family if I'm injured, and it's only in Austin too, because in San Antonio, just right down the street from us, my brother was out there and he was like, man, we did everything peacefully, everything was good. Nobody had to open fire, nothing, and this and that, and and I'm hearing about that and I'm going, well, but then again, Austin, half of the people that live in Austin ain't even from here. So, and this is how they'll act, It's kind of how I being, like I said, native Austin, you're even seeing that's not Austin type behavior, man.
I Okay, Mr. Ricky D, you're a small business owner. How has kind of all of this impacted you?
Well, my business got impacted with COVID because, of course, my business is more of a mobile business. So when people have parties and events and stuff like that, that's really where my money making is at. But I also throughout the week I would shine shoes at a hotel, and that's that got shut down too. But I could tell you this: a lot of those locations that would hire me for those events, a lot of those got damaged, and now as a result, now I might not have a spot where the normal people that my regular clientele that would hire me for those events, a lot of that stuff was downtown. So they most likely ain't going to be hiring me because now they have to recoup a ton of losses that they have based on the damages that they collected. So a lot of that has to go with it. So yeah, man, it's been that's a big thing too. Like right now, if that hotel got hit up right now, I can almost guarantee it'd be like, well, we got to reduce the amount of people that are in and out of this place, man. Right now, except for our own clients, So I don't know, man. That's a very interesting thing because I have to really kind of look at it myself.
I was just kind of curious, I know with the whole, distancing thing and all the other stuff that goes along with it, and I was just wondering if you guys, and you are in the Austin area and need your shoes for the world's greatest shoe sign, make sure you holler at
Come on now,
Ricky D. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Just DM me on my Instagram and let me know. Right now, while you can just do drop off and I'll deliver them back to you. But anyhow, man, I appreciate that, Honcho. You didn't have to do that, and I appreciate that big time, baby. But that was the other thing, man. Have you noticed that there's no talk about the COVID virus?
Oh yeah, no, it's done. The cure was rioting. That's the cure for COVID. It just start rioting. So.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, man, maybe George Floyd, passing may have done something that we didn't know, man. Maybe all of a sudden we're gonna find out that maybe it was a hoax. But or even then. But the other thing too is, aren't you? If it is a hoax, aren't you playing into the plan, the grand scheme of things? Let's get all the brown and black people out into one section and have them just pass it all around to them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was thinking too. And because I got a lot of single friends that went in there, like, we're going out there, man. That's the other thing. You got guys that are going out there just because they know that there's some booty out there.
Now this is true. And look, now if I was a younger man with more devious plans, I'm telling you that's exactly where I'd be at. A bunch of women that's been jammed up in the house for a couple of months. I ain't had no action. Shit, look, hey baby, look, I just stole these new Louis Vuitton slippers, baby. Hey, we can go and share them. I don't know, but yeah, it's crazy though.
I know you've been quarantining, but I call it marinating, and
That's
I know
funny.
you've been marinating. I'm sorry, quarantining, and hi, my name is for real. And a lot of my single friends are like, no, we're going down there, bro. You see how much ass is out there? It's out there, and I'm just thinking to myself, a lot of COVID ass out there. A lot of COVID ass. I'll get some of that COVID ass.
Hey, is COVID better than Novid? I guess you ain't getting nothing. You've been there so long. You're like, fuck. If I'm gonna die one way or the other, I might as well get something before I clock out. So
they're like, hey, we've been quarantined too, man. We've been backed up. Come on, man.
I agree. Where's the deal, Mr. Ricky D, man? I'm gonna cut you short here. We got a couple more calls to take, but man, I definitely appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts, man.
I'll holler at you, and I checked out the sauce earlier today, man. So
already, I appreciate that.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
You too. Shout out to Ricky D, man.
Later.
The gangster. I don't know what happened to the prepaid. If you was lying or what. Are you still on hold? I'm not sure what's going on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Yo, 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 yo.
Makes me think of that Busta Rhymes song.
Yow, 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 yow,
Yes.
yow, yow,
Yes.
yow, 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 yow.
Woo-ha. Yes, got you all in check.
Woo-ha. Damn right. Damn right. What's going on, Honcho? What's poppin'?
Oh, not much, man. The world is burning, Kenneth. What do you suggest we do to put these fires out? It just seems like things are happening all over the country. They could be getting worse. You know, if it's one tragedy to the next tragedy, what is going on in your opinion?
My brother. Who said we wanted to put things out? Who said we wanted to put things out? What are you?
So you say you want to watch the world burn? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm not instigating violence. But I do believe that, you know, the only language that the United States understands is violence. I mean, that's how they get what they have. I mean, they raid other countries, and, you know, it's not through, hey, you know, let's talk about things. You know, no, they blow motherfuckers up. What are you talking about? They kill people. Violence, fire, bombs. I mean, I'm not saying you do that to your own country, but hey, I mean, well, okay, wait. Before I start, okay, first of all, I have been drinking. Second of all, before I start, I want to, like, okay, I don't believe in making public shade, well, in throwing public shade and making private apologies. So I would like to wish my brother, Professor Trillard, an apology for my past shady comments and things. I'm pretty sure he's over it. It's not a thought of mine, but I do believe in, you know, if you throw public shade, then you must have a public apology to go with it. So there's your apology, Professor Trillard. If you don't mind, I would love to call you Professor Trillard, if you don't mind. But if not, I will be respectful and call you Professor.
I think you should call him Professor Trillard no matter what that nigga think. I think that's actually a very
Trillard is cool. I mean, I think Trillard is dumb as fucking cool. Like, I think Trillard is fucking cool. I just think that we both have, like, strong personalities. And you know, me, the new freshman coming into the chat, you know, I'm like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? Like, you know, I was like, you know, whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, but, you know, I apologize. Apologies to Professor Trill. Professor Trill. God bless you, brother. Yeah. Yeah, okay, now that's his fire and brimstone shit. Okay, so my question is that, like, many white people, like white corporations, black corporations, like celebrities, etc. Okay, don't mind my English because I've been drinking and I've been smoking a little bit of weed. Okay, well, a lot of good weed. Okay, so don't mind my English if it's a bit flustered. Okay. So many celebrities, white people, corporations and such, they didn't make public statements until, you know, and comments and things like that, until the rioting, until the marching. You know, before that, the motherfuckers were silent, you know, and which is always the case. And that is why, you know, some years ago, before I deleted my social media, I deleted, like, all my high school classmates and grade school classmates. Fuck them hoes. Like, y'all motherfuckers always silent, but when Michael Vick was, like, having dog fights and shit, y'all hoes was literally, like, crying. And, like, you know, you just couldn't contain yourself. So, you know, at some point, I was like, fuck y'all white hoes classmates. Y'all got to go. Everybody white is in my life. If y'all not, for, you know, what the fuck, you know, what I'm for, because I feel like if you're my friend, then you're my friend for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You're my friend for a reason. Everybody can't be my friend because I can't be loyal to everybody. I can't be loyal to everybody, so I can't be friends with everybody.
Sure.
So I can only be loyal to whoever's loyal to me. So I was looking around and motherfuckers were silent, you know, like cast of the ghost. And so
Y'all gonna get down or lay down. MAGA
I did
2020.
that because now these past years or so, I've been living my life like, you know, if you're white, you know, you have to prove myself that you're an ally. You're just not my friend automatically because you're my coworker, or because you're a friend of a friend, or because you're a colleague, or because you may be a business partner. You're not my friend. You have to prove yourself to be an ally. Now, I can do business with your ass because I am wise and I'm smart. You know, and that goes to show that if it's you or someone like them, they're gonna choose someone like them at any time. They'll never choose you over them. You know. So that's and it just proves my point. Like someone like John, like I was John's like best buddy. You know, I was John's like favorite guy. You know, and you know, with a disagreement, he like makes a whack joke that had racial undertones about me joining and burning down Waffle House. First of all, no one burned down a Waffle House. Okay, first of all. Videos showed that motherfuckers was guarding the Waffle House because the black people love Waffle House. Okay. Second of all, I've never eaten at Waffle House. And it just shows you that, you know, at the drop of a dime, that if there's a disagreement or anything, like a white person literally will call you a nigger. They'll, you know, say a racist joke. They'll do anything at the drop of a dime in a racist way, you know, if there's a disagreement or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so moving on, with Kaepernick. When Kaepernick kneeled and, you know, the country ripped him apart, like, and the country was split apart. You know, you had the majority of white people saying he's disrespecting the white flag and veterans, you know, and he needs to protest the right way and another way. You know what I'm saying? But now motherfuckers is looting and marching and rioting, with the addition of, you know, some white devils mixed in there. You know, they're mixed in there because now they've overturned the whole shit. You know, the whole shit is trash now. You know, might as well call it a day because they've already, like, you know, basically COINTELPRO. Niggas might as well go home now. They're already in there, you know, get to the ground, start organizing, hit them where it hurts with the dollar, you know, all that shit. But, you know, motherfucking white devils is in there, call it a day. They already doing damage, you know. But it's like, you can't win whether you're with Colin and you're kneeling, and you can't win whether you're protesting. Or you can't win when there are some black people that may be potentially looting. But niggas don't do fire. Niggas don't do fire. Niggas will go in and steal and run out. Niggas ain't coming in with fucking fireworks. Who has fireworks in May, in March? Who does that? Who has fucking fireworks? White people. White people. That's who has fireworks. You know, before fireworks time is to come. You know, so, you know, and it makes you think about when, you know, there were black people. It was this organization called the MOVE organization in Philadelphia. They protested injustice.
This girl is making her boyfriend take a picture of her.
Animal cruelty from the zoos and fucking Shamu and shit like that. From yeah, Shamu, Free Willy. They protested police brutality and everything under the sun. And they lived in Philadelphia, and they were targeted by the police. You know, their mayor and fire, whatever. Their house. This is documented as the first time the USA bombed the USA is when they dropped the bomb on their house. But that's not the first time. The first time was Black Wall Street, but we'll move from there. They bombed this Philadelphia's house. It was a row house. And for those of you who don't know what a row house is, it's a home that is literally, there's no space in between the next home. It's literally like home after home after home on a long block. And they dropped a bomb on one of those houses, you know, of this black organization with women and children and men filled on the day after Mother's Day. The morning after Mother's Day, they dropped a bomb on this house with these people inside. And when it was getting too hot, you know, some of them started to run out. But the police, before that, the police shot in the house. They ran through over 10,000 rounds of ammunition, And as some of the people were coming out, they were shooting. And how can you imagine being stuck with the decision, should I face being shot to death, or should I run back into a burning house and burn to death, or die of the smoke? And they ran back into the house. And 11 people died, including 5 children. Only 2 people survived, 1 woman and 1 child. You see what I'm saying? So when you talk about violence, no, and this was in those fires that was ordered, the fire, the fucking police department, the mayor ordered for the fire department to let it burn. They did not put the fire out. That fire burned 65 houses. It burned down 65 houses to the ground. And to this day, those blocks, 3 long city blocks of houses done, gone. The morning after Mother's Day. How can you imagine going through that? You see what I'm saying? And to this day, those homes were not rebuilt the right way. Some of them were, and then now they're condemned. There are no people living there, in most of them. So this has been going on for decades after decades after decades. And if you look at the looting nowadays, with the looting and shit that's going on now, you see it's mixed with the white people, the Colombians and Puerto Ricans. And the other night, I was downtown in New York with the looting going on in Soho. Motherfuckers, and I had my camera. I wasn't looting, of course. I was downtown documenting everything, being the photographer that I am. And I so happened to run into a robbery that we're just not going to talk about that tonight. But then I ran into the looting in Soho, and motherfuckers was going to Chanel and I mean North Face and I mean busting, just coming out with boxes and coats and these is white people with skateboards busting out windows. And some in Puerto Ricans and Colombians and some black people in there, you know. But I overheard some Puerto Ricans or Hispanics saying, you know, I ain't come here for no Floyd shit. I just came because I heard that motherfuckers was going to steal shit. So that's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the tone of some of these people, you know. But it's not just the black people. You know, with the looting. It's looting and then there's protesting. It's 2 separate things. You know, the protesting is guided by, to me, misguided anger. But before I go, I do want to say that Obama and his fucking kind words and people, like, praising him to be, like, this grand thing. He's coming out with all of his shit. This, like, 18-page fucking letter on what he proposes, and he gave the call to all, all this shit, and this fucking, half white, half African man ain't saying none of that shit while he was in office. What? So how the fuck do we have faith in your half African, half white ass as a fucking citizen if you can't even say that shit as president of the fucking free world, supposedly? So fuck Obama. Fuck Obama. I've said that before. As far as this Antifa, right wing, left wing, bottom wing, top wing, breast, top head, all that bullshit, it's BS. It's just like how they say it's how they consider Hispanic niggas with a taco. Those is niggas, those is white devils with a damn Confederate flag, or a white devil with a damn hybrid hacking shit. I mean, like that, to me, all that right wing, left wing shit, they just create these fancy words to hide the basic name that they are. And I have to put white in front of them. White in front of whatever it is that comes after them. Someone stabbed Joe Jackson's granddaughter. Michael Jackson's Joe Jackson. Someone stabbed her 7 times. It was a white person. Wow. And so she said. And they stabbed her 7 times in the face, in the neck, and, they was calling her nigger and shit. Mm-hmm. You can research it. Now, I do propose to black people as a solution, to get into, your Krav Maga and your Shijitsu and your Muay Thai and your Capoeiras and your boxing and your karate, get into those things, self-defense, because that is one, it's war out there. Like, you just never know what can happen in 2020. So I do believe that, many white people, like, they train for these types of things. Like, they create literal bombs, pipe bombs, nail bombs. Like, they train in their backyards for war. And that's one thing that I can commend about their white asses. You know what I'm saying? They train for war. I get it, but we as black people, we aren't that type of people. Like, we just aren't like warish people. Do you know what I mean? Like, we fight, but we're not a warish type of people. So no. You don't think so? Come on. Okay, East Side versus West Side. Okay, that might be like a little battle. We talking about war. Like, war, meaning like black people, they don't practice shooting. Okay, they just shoot at the fucking shootout. That's their practice. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's their practice. White people practice. There's a difference. You see what I'm saying? No.
No, definitely. I definitely would say they're definitely more well trained than your average black individual.
Yeah, like, we know how to fight, like, head on with our fists. We're physical. We know how to fight. But when they come with their weapons and their traps, I mean, they got their fucking. You walk and you thinking you fucking walking on grass. Next thing you know, it's a fucking booby trap. They come with their traps and their fucking bow and arrows and shit. I mean, this is their stuff. This is what they do. You know what I'm saying? So black people, if you want to fuck with them, then you're going to have to put your children and your kids in, and you're going to have to learn yourself, like, the art of war physically, and practice with the gun yourself. And I also feel that when people say, like the caller before, black, white, green, yellow, I hate when people say that, because that is definitely, whether black or white, they're on the other side. They're on the side of racism. Because as far as I know, There is no motherfucking green people living on this earth. There's no green people. And there is no fucking all these colors. You know, when people just say all of these weird colors, when they say those colors, it makes it dims our actual color. Like, we're not green people. Like, we're real people. And we're not just black, we're brown, we're just all these colors, but there's nobody on this planet that's green. And, I mean, Jane Elliott even says that, a white ally that I fuck with, you know. And as a student, you know, I observe the actions of the U.S. government. And one must pose the question that, like, how would the U.S. government, like, how would they would have transitioned from the coronavirus? Like, you have to think about, like, how can you transition? Because I'm always all about, like, I want a smooth transition. And everything that I do, I want my transitions to be smooth. Because I was once a dancer, and I know that your transitions need to be smooth, so I apply that to, you know, real shit. So how would you transition over to real life after coronavirus? You know what I'm saying? It's a weird thing to do. You know, why not throw in another big-ass fucking shit, a big-ass bomb? You know, that's the transition. You know, now, you know, it'll be easy for us to transition because we're not afraid of the boogeyman anymore. Why? Because the media is not pushing out so much bullshit and so much coronavirus. Now it's race. So the coronavirus, it's like, whatever, I'll be able to go outside now, and I don't care, you know. It's not a big deal anymore. That's a transition to me, you know. And you have to think about retrograde is kind of going on, and then you have to think about, you know, with the fucking, it's the 99th year anniversary of that Wall Street massacre in Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. And you have to think about energy and all of this energy that's out here, not just in the U.S., but in the world. They're riding in New Zealand. I have some choreographer friends that's like on the front lines of the ride in New Zealand. They're riding in Portugal. Like, they're riding everywhere. And it's like, where is all that energy going? That's going into the atmosphere. The energy meaning that the energy in your, well, I guess I'm speaking to a lower vibrational, I don't know, but energy, I'm talking about like your actual energy, the orb that's around you, you know, and it's like all of that energy, where is it going? Like, who's using that energy? And what are they using it for? But that's all that I have. I mean, I have more, but it's kind of long, but I mean, I definitely feel like the coons that's in the room and the coons that's all around, you know, and I hate to use the word coons because I don't want to name call, you know, but in this instance, I would have to call you a coon, you know, and the coons, I really hope, and I'm not going to say I pray this, I'm not going to pray for this, I hope that you or someone that you know or someone in your family don't end up in a situation when, you know, where their name is a hashtag. And because you would want people to rally behind you. And, you know, yeah, I mean, in the words of Paul Mooney, like, you'll get your nigga wake-up call. You'll definitely get your nigga wake-up call. And I don't wish harm on anyone, but I definitely hate when people say that you're supposed to love everybody. I don't love everybody because I don't believe God loves everybody. And if you talk about biblically speaking, you want to throw your Bible out there, God loves Jacob and he hates Esau, and it goes on many times in the Bible on what he hates. So if you live by the Bible or you read the Bible or whatever, whatever. But I do believe in hate, and I believe that God believes in hate, and so I definitely hate the white devil races, and I don't wish death upon them or anyone. I don't wish harm. Okay, I don't wish death. I'm gonna leave it at that. As far as the businesses burning down, like The Dream and T.I. and Killer Mike, don't burn our shit down. I understand, but it's okay. We get it. It's your business. But in war, there will be casualties, and your business may be one of them. And that's that. So I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat is talking shit about me, but that's okay. And I'm pretty sure the majority of them don't fuck with me, and that's okay too. I'm pretty sure, their minds are on the other side as well. But do you have any questions for me? You never have any questions for me. I guess because I talk so long, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah, you generally tend to get, your thoughts and opinions out, unless it's just something that you say that may trigger a different pattern of thought or something like that. Then I'll tend to answer or ask any questions that I may have then. But as of right now, I think in relations to, what's been going on, I mean, I have no further questions, sir.
Cool. Much love to everybody except for the white racist. I hope everyone tries to, make it and be successful and get through whatever that's coming. Strap up and get some canned goods and, get a fucking deep freeze and a fucking generator and all that shit, because some shit, not even dealing with race shit, but, shit, 2020 is off the chain. Strap up and learn how to, get your, protect your household. You see what this coronavirus bullshit is going on. Prepare yourselves for what may or may not happen in the near future in 2020, because it is a movie. Goodbye.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Ken. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Oh my goodness, this about motherfucking time. Lord have mercy.
Was it really that bad?
Oh my! I've been trying to call for a goddamn week.
I done heard hours. I done heard a few minutes. I done heard a week now. Goodness gracious!
Man, you owe me, dog. You owe me a week worth of pistachio. What the hell?
A week worth of pistachio, man. Let me see. I might have a few extra pistachios in my stash. We'll see what we can pull out.
How you doing, Honcho? Hey, Dan. How y'all doing? I know it's been a week. It ain't my fault though. I could not get through. I've been calling.
You like You ever used to listen to Silk the Shocker?
Huh?
You ever used to listen to Silk the Shocker?
Silk the Shocker. What about him?
Did you ever listen to his music?
Oh my goodness, that's like old. Like I don't listen to nothing new.
I don't know if he got anything. All that stuff is old. But back in the day, did you used to listen to his music?
I listened to a few songs. I know who he is, but I ain't into rap like that. But yeah, I know of him.
What about Mystical?
Yeah, Danger. Hey.
Get on the flow. Okay, all right. I see you player. All right. So my thing is, what are your thoughts, Miss Rashida, about what's going on in the world today, and is anything like that taking place in the Chi?
Yeah, I'm tired. Shit, I've been out looting since, goddamn it, for 3 days now.
That's why your ass can't get in. See, it ain't got nothing to do with the den can't get in. You out there looting. That's why your ass can't get in the den line. You too busy over there, stealing
Damn right.
iPhones.
I done got me a goddamn TV. I done got some crab legs.
Mm.
I done got some goddamn tires for my car.
You
I
know.
done got some mhm.
Okay.
Tomorrow I think I'm going to give me a furniture set. Yeah.
That's some gangster shit. You
I'm
don't need
getting I'm getting a U-Haul.
Nah, you don't even need a
Yeah.
U-Haul. All you need is a grocery cart. You make that shit shake. U-Haul gonna take too long. Niggas
No,
gonna
I
tell us,
don't need
man, look, you
groceries.
can't go out and get no
I'm
U-Haul in the middle of a situation like this. Then the motherfucker be stole your U-Haul. You know what I'm saying? You be loaded, your
no,
furniture
I
set
can
on the
help
back.
other people.
Hmm?
I can help other people.
Okay, you gonna charge them a small fee to help them get their loot on?
Now let me stop playing. I don't get involved in shit like that. So I wish they would stop because they getting on my nerves now. Like the first day, I sympathize, but after that, y'all motherfuckers just need to go sit down somewhere.
So you say they doing too much now?
Yeah, they doing too goddamn much. All I be hearing is the damn fire truck. I hear the damn police siren, the ambulance. Shit, I'm tired of this shit. All day and all night. Helicopters.
I mean, all you gotta do is pull rank. You the big boss on the block. All you gotta do is say the word. Everybody gonna shut all that down. They don't want no smoke with our shit.
No. I be worried about my family and shit, They be having to go out to work and stuff. Oh, shit. Too much. My brother say he was behind a police car, and they jumped on the police car and pulled the damn officer out the car and took the damn police car. I say, fuck that.
Man, that's tough.
It's too much. It's too much. It's just too much. I say it gotta stop. I hope this the last day of it.
You hope it's the last day? You think this is a done deal?
No, it ain't over, but I said I hope.
Okay. So I've just posted a little video behind me. This is taken about an hour ago 11 in New York. So they have raided a Best Buy and cleaned it out. So it's still definitely going on. At this point, like I say, it's no longer about Floyd. It's about what I can steal.
It's time to get back to the issue of police brutality. That's the issue. That's what we got to get back to. Stop all this focusing on rioting and looting. That's all you see on the damn news is the rioting and looting. Let's get back to the story of why they rioting and looting shit.
But with that happening, do you think, if they strengthen the police presence, do you think that people will use, the rioting, the looting for days and days in multiple cities as justification to do so?
You can't justify wrong. You can do it. Just because you say that's why you doing it, don't mean it's justified. You just a fucking thief. So it is what it is. And when they arrest your ass, you going to jail for looting. They ain't gonna say you went to jail because you was protesting in the name of Mr. Floyd. You might as well just stay your ass at home. All y'all, white, black, all y'all.
So do you think?
And also, people don't even mention the fact that in Minnesota, that move was used over 200 times on different victims, and 44 people lost consciousness. So y'all motherfucking police knew that move was dangerous. The leg constraint on the neck. Now, if that's something they teaching y'all, that need to change right there. That needs to be taken out of y'all manual or whatever the fuck y'all be trained with.
So you think like, so you feel like, do you think it needs to be a complete revamp? Do you think there's just a few things that need to be
Hell
maybe
yeah.
tweaked, or how does this?
First of all, black people didn't create the system of racism, so ain't no way for us to fucking destroy it or erase it or whatever. That can't come from us. Second of all, the damn police got to police the police, which means good cops got to help weed out the bad cops. Because until the mentality of the police change, ain't shit gonna change. Ain't shit black people can do to change the mindset of the police. All these good memories we created with the police, that those are just gonna be that memories and moments. Ain't no real change gonna come until their actual mindset in the way they interact with people change, not just black people, all people. Because you know what I think? I think for a minute they might stop targeting black people, but they target just don't change.
Who's gonna be the new target?
That's about it. It's probably gonna be the damn Latino people. So they better watch out.
Okay. Well, that's very unfortunate. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
All of it's unfortunate. All of it, and they talking about he on suicide watch. Stop watching him so he can go and do what he got to do. Shit. That's how I feel about it. I don't feel no sympathy. Let him go and do what he gonna do to himself and move on. And them other 3 officers' ass need to be locked up too. They should just turn themselves in.
So ultimately, what do you think happens with
the fact that it's taking them this long to charge them other 3? Mean they don't want to charge them. That's how I look at it. And the first autopsy report they had was bullshit. A cover up.
Well, yeah, that's very sketchy right there.
We didn't need no damn autopsy. We watched enough CSI and everything else. We knew what the fuck it was. Shit, y'all didn't have to come tell us it was asphyxiation. We already knew that shit. They act like they telling us something. Y'all ain't telling us shit we ain't know. Yeah. And you know what? You should have been out there looting and got you some more audio equipment and got you a new chair.
Yeah, that's really what I should have did, you know, but I was in the wrong part of town. You know, I wasn't thinking ahead, you know, and it really would have been, the weekend would have been perfect. I wasn't streaming, you know what I mean? I could have got me a new chair.
I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to you and tell you if I drive by the beauty supply store and I see motherfuckers coming out there looting and got bundles of hand shit, I ain't gonna say throw a couple in my car.
Shit, you better stay away from that bitch. Them Asians protecting that shit. Them Asians out there got shooters on the roof.
But you know what? A lot of them business owners probably never been through no shit. But see, in Chicago, they been through some shit. So a lot of them got them aluminum things that they pull down over their business. Like, you can't get through them motherfuckers. So they already prepared for a riot. So you got to invest in your business to protect it.
Yeah, man, it's real crazy, but all the things that have gone on. But did you hear about what's her name? And I didn't know she had a store and all this stuff, but apparently she staged like she was getting robbed, or her store got robbed, and then you know they started a GoFundMe. Lori Harvey, I believe, was who it was, and apparently she has a store somewhere, and so she like posted this thing on Snapchat, I guess, or Instagram stories, whichever one, same difference.
Not Steve Harvey doing it.
Yeah, I guess that's the Lori Harvey. I don't mean I just be hearing the names. Like I kind of like read the story. I mean, when it comes to like celebrities, I don't be knowing shit that be going on.
That rich, dirty bitch.
But they said so. Apparently, because they pulled some kind of scam move. I guess she had a store, her and a friend. Apparently, some kind of scam move to get the store from there to it's a Dior or something. But if you see the video, it looks so cheesy because the niggas is like coming up under the thing, like you said, the aluminum thing, that little roll down gate thing that makes it like impossible to do shit.
Exactly.
So yeah, she got people coming out of there like they just sliding up out the store. But yeah, when she walk up on the store, that gate thing is down. But yeah, somehow behind it all, the shit is fucked up, and it's just so sketchy looking. But yeah, motherfuckers gonna donate. They gonna fuck with it. They gonna do whatever.
Right, ain't no way in hell they could have got through that. She needs to stop. Stop it.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But she's shady anyway. Look at all them different men she's dating.
Why she got to be shady? Because she's sleeping with different men. Maybe she, trying to find the right thing.
Not different men. She just be messing with some shady characters. So I wouldn't. I I shouldn't have been surprised. Her mama shady too. That's a shady bitch because she got Steve Harvey from her best friend. So yeah, she learned how to be shady from my mama. So anyway, moving along. I don't like to gossip about people.
Okay. Yeah, me either.
Yeah, right.
It's just it's some crazy stuff going on that I've just seen in the world. But I'm thankful, and again, Americans should be thankful that we have social media, we have access to these things, because you get to see the real story on the ground compared to what society wants to feed you, what the media wants to show you. And as much as all the tomfoolery and negativity is going on, there are a lot of people that are getting out of there and waking up in the morning and going and cleaning up their communities, their neighborhoods, and things of that nature. So it is.
I don't agree with the right. Black people, they've been peaceful. We've been peaceful people for a long time with these protests, trying to make change, but we can't. It's obvious that the change can't come from us. So we gotta make a different move. That's all I can say. Violence wasn't the answer either, because that ain't gonna change shit. It got the attention, but it should have been another plan behind after the attention. Like, what y'all gonna do now, Willis?
I don't know. I don't think we've even got a plan. Like, who is the leadership? Who do you turn to? If people said, okay, we see you, we hear you, we know what's going on.
There has to be an intermediary between the black community and the police, because that's the only way things gonna change. The change got to come from that kind of connection or something. It gotta be something. Cause what we doing ain't working. What we on murder number 1,000 or something? I don't know. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I do think it's crazy. Do you think it gets resolved soon, or do you think this is going on for a few more days?
I give it 2 or 3 more days. They ain't tired yet. And you know what? A lot of people don't have no job right now. So it's already a lot of frustration. I think it was just a mix of things. And then they having problems getting their unemployment benefits. And see, if he had went ahead and sent that damn stimulus, people wouldn't have been out there doing that kind of shit. To make other stimulus. Yeah. He wants to play around, push the foot around. And he needs to, Trump needs to shut the fuck up. He just be doing some dumb ass shit. But I know my governor and my mayor cannot stand Donald Trump. So I know Illinois ain't gonna get shit. Chicago ain't get shit either. What are you doing? Typing in my pistachio?
Yeah, I'm typing in all your pistachio. I hooked you up real tight.
Mm. Well, I think that's about all I really had to say. It seems like I've been trying to call in a week and I had a lot to say, but now I really don't have. I probably don't forget a lot of shit. But anyway.
Well, it'd be like that sometime. You know, we're gonna have plenty more den, and I'm gonna make sure you get in. So if you forget or you recall, sorry if you recall. What?
I don't know how. You
so,
ain't been doing it.
I ain't been seeing you call.
No, you just put me off the block list.
Now you get blocked. Terrible. These false accusations against my character will not stand in your common court of law. So.
They send 10 toes down. Yep.
This is fraudulence against my character. Okay. Well, Miss Rashida, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make you. What do they say? Save the best for last. We'll make you the last call of the evening. On a very.
I thought you had an extended in.
This is extended in. What do you mean? We started at 9 o'clock, and it's gonna be almost 1. Look, I ain't as young as I once was.
Oh.
Now, if I had, pre-planned and maybe would have slept a little bit differently because it wasn't extended in intended. You know what I'm saying? If the extended in would have been planned, I probably would have been a little bit more well rested. If you feel me, but I'll probably have to just get in the Discord for a little bit and chop it up.
Did you get the cash app I sent you? Did you get the cash app I sent you today?
Oh yes, ma'am, and thank you for that. Shout out to Miss Rashida, and I'll make sure. Oh, I'm glad you
I need you to send me back $9 because I only meant to send you $1.
Oh, okay. Well, let me make sure I remove these pistachios I just put up in here for you. And,
no, I'm just playing.
I'm just playing. Don't be like that, damn. But thank you very much. I did get it, yes, ma'am.
You're welcome.
But yeah.
Yeah, I ain't always got no money to get it in, but when I get it, I splash you a few dollars in. Yeah.
It's always greatly appreciated. What we need, what we've been asking for, is when you're gonna slide in that Discord and bless us with a serenade.
I think about it because you ain't been treating me right. I think about it.
Well, I mean, we just we have all been clamoring for a little musical stylings from Miss Rashida.
Well, I have to prepare something, then I'll bless y'all eventually.
Okay, well, I'll be eagerly anticipating.
I'm getting the words to the songs and shit.
You have to practice. You have to get to like the YouTube thing with the karaoke words right there as you go by. That way you get all of it right there.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I guess that might work. So I get my early bird pistachios, and I get my 1 week worth of pistachios, and then I get my last call of pistachios. So damn, you owe me all of them.
Wait. When did last call of pistachios become a thing?
When I made it a thing.
Oh, okay. That's some more of that 2020 shit that's been going on.
Yeah.
Very intriguing. Very intriguing. Okay. I'll see what we can do about that. My hands may be tied. I may not be able to provide you those end of caller pistachios. We'll see. We'll see what's happening. We'll see what's going on.
No, we gonna have to untie your hands. Your hands is untied. I don't do what you do.
The pistachio accounting department, I gotta make sure everything is on the up and up. We gotta make sure we don't want to get audited for pistachios. It's a bad look.
You know how to cook the book. You got it. You've been around a few books. You know what to do.
What? I don't even know what a book is. Miss Rashida, you too. Why don't you be in the Discord more often? Why don't you come join us? Why you be acting like you don't rock with us? We have some good conversations in there, and would definitely love to know your thoughts and opinions on some of them.
Because there's a few people in there I don't like, and I don't feel like being phony. I don't phony keep. So.
Yeah, you can just hit the little block thing. Nobody will bother you. Hit the little block on it, you'll never hear.
You right.
see.
Damn right. I sure should have blocked and keep it moving. You right.
Yeah, because you was the originator of the move. What was it? Block and delete. What is this talking about? What is this thing? You know, so that you was the originator of all that there, man. So you just gotta apply it.
Yeah, I'll be up too late. Shit, I be going to bed.
Man,
and I'll be in the Discord till 3 and 4 in the morning.
Man,
Everybody got time.
They be up too late because I tap out myself. Yeah,
You know
sometimes
what,
they be.
so you be telling people to come to Discord, your ass be in there for 10 minutes and you be gone.
No, I'm in the Discord for much more than that. I usually be listening in, or if I got something going on, because everybody always complain. Everybody always say the mic. Everybody always say, "Oh, your mic picking up too much. Oh, we can't hear you this. So what's going on with that?" So sometimes if I'm occupied, if I'm moving around doing something, I don't have the mic on.
You be sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. You sure do.
Okay, but there's the Discord link there. You can use it via PC or cell phone. So, you guys, make sure you come join Discord. There's always some Den folk in there.
Ain't nobody else coming in there either.
Man, it's people in there right now. It's people who've been in the voice chat at least for the last
it don't be nothing
30, 40 minutes.
5 or 10 people, y'all.
About what?
It be 5 to 10 people.
The other day it was jumping. So, but
probably
anyway.
Jumped up to 6 or 7 people. That's about it. Shit, don't nobody be coming in there.
Okay, well, it's the best 6 or 7 person conversation you could ever be a part of. So bring your ass in. I ain't asking no more, and I will be talking to you soon. Yeah.
I heard her so funny. Yeah, I see Honcho don't curse at nobody else. See,
ass is a curse word.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I gotta update my book. I didn't know that was. I didn't know that wasn't the profane. I thought.
Yeah, you be saying all your curse words to Rashida when she called. Then you be nice to everybody else. Then when Rashida called.
No.
It's all good. Yes, yeah. Where Miss Meat at? I think me and her need to have a talk about you.
I don't know. You subscribe to Miss Meat channel?
Huh?
Are you subscribed to Miss Meat's channel?
No, what's her channel?
I don't know her name.
Oh, wow. She knows the name of your channel, but you don't know the name of her channel.
But I don't know if it's actually, the exact same. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it's the channel associated with her name.
Oh.
But let me show Miss Meat some love. There we go. Let me see. Let me show Miss Meat some love.
About time.
What? That is false. Miss Meat be having some very interesting streams. I go in there and ear hustle from time to time, just sit and chill and listen. And so for those of y'all who want to show Miss Meat some love, I put the link in there, and let her know Honcho sent you. But all right, Miss Rashida, I appreciate you calling in, and I know I'll be able to sleep wonderfully tonight, knowing that I got to hear the smooth sounds of Serenity Reed.
Hey, why are you telling people my other name? Oh, okay. I guess you.
Remember them couple of times you hit me with a couple of trolls on a couple of them sports activities that took place a while back. So I owed you one. But no, Miss Rashida, I definitely do appreciate you calling in. And we'll be talking to you soon, man. You have a wonderful evening. And don't be out there looting. If I see you on the news, I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to put you on the clip behind the clip for the behind me. That's going to be you on the news.
I'm going to put in a dispute for my Cash App watch.
Man, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to let it sit there a little bit.
All right, you take care. Take care, team. Good night, everybody.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, man. It was a great evening this evening. It's been a while, and I'm tired, and I'm not gonna if I'd have probably pre-planned a little bit more, for extended in. We definitely go a little bit longer, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm tired. Barely keeping them open. But a couple of links been dropped in the conversation. One of those being the link to Miss Meat's channel. So show Miss Meat some love. She definitely has some very interesting streams. The other being the link to the Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord conversation, I mean, you're missing out on a huge chunk of the den. And some of the den folk, I mean, you have missed a lot of inside jokes. You have definitely missed a lot of very good stories, very good debates and conversations that take place. And like I say, with that direct connection, you can just talk live with the other den folk via the voice chat. If you just want to listen in and comment, you can be in the text chat. I randomly play music to add a soundtrack to some of the conversations, or if it's just bad conversations that I don't want to hear. So, but with that being said, I'm going to be in the Discord immediately after this. A couple of folks are already in the Discord, so don't meet me there, beat me there. Make sure you're following on all the proper social medias, Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. Den Show Live on Facebook. Make sure you just hit all the links in the description below, or check out the links in the description below. Very informative. Tells you everything you need to know. Man, shout out to all of y'all, man. I appreciate all the love. This evening, shout out to Savage Donald Trump. I don't know if I had shouted you out or not. But, you know, here's my thing. Fucks with y'all. I appreciate y'all. We're just studying some things. Definitely, like some things are just going good. Like I said, when it gets the time to really talk about some other stuff, definitely will. And we're looking at making some upgrades to my setup because, I mean, yeah, like I said, we'll talk about it in the near future. I mean, it's so I got a couple of ideas, and so I think I finally got it figured out. But yeah, wrap it up, beats, wrap it up box. That's what I need. I need a real life wrap it up box and just hit that bitch to end the stream. But yeah, I'm talking to produce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Catch us in the Discord, man. You want the shirt? Go to Den Show Shop. 3 words. denshowshop.com. Go get you some Den Show merch. Appreciate everybody who has supported. If anybody tries to jack a FedEx and it's got just Sarah's Honcho Main Honcho shirt on it, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. I don't know. I mean, God mods are not even in the Discord, so I don't even know about your mod status, Heidi. Debatable at the very least. But Discord time, I'll catch y'all, man. Y'all ain't got to go home. I plugged y'all into Discord, but y'all do got to get the fuck up out of here. Well.